Recording.
Yay. Okay. Hmm. What happened last time? I wish I could forget it from my memory, but I can't have everything in life, can I? Let's see. I was taking a nap. I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I'll just stay awake for 24 hours and then die. Next thing I know, I am tired and I can't see, and there's other buggers around me. Uh, Another stupid room. It was dark. Someone fell over. I think it's a dinosaur or something. I don't know what that person is, but it's weird. A grumpy person, some other person. Uh, I don't really care, but you know what? If they are more eyes to maybe don't find the exits, then I guess I will follow them for a while. Even though the very first room that we ended up going together was filled with really ugly verbals. I don't know. Some cat, maybe it was a giant cat, and it threw up these things, and it was fucking with our minds. And then I broke my leg, and then the dumbass came, and then I tried to hit him, and then I broke my leg again. Other than that, and aside from hating my life for the past, I don't remember how long that's. Mm, yeah, whatever. I'm done. That's it. It's nothing. Nothing interesting.
All right. And we now join your guys' party after the intense, quote-unquote, battle that you all found yourselves fighting. After speaking with the wizard for a bit, he allows you a couple minutes to sort of gather yourselves and better present yourselves once more, as he slowly strides over towards the center of the room, his hands folded comfortably behind his back, and a sort of leisurely stride to the way that he walks. Eventually, he sort of pivots on his heel so that he's facing you again, and just smiling away as he gestures towards the floor next to him, and from the floorway, you see the floor panel sort of sink inwards, revealing a downward staircase into another area of darkness. You don't notice any light towards the end, or any hint as to what may be waiting for you on the other side. However, looking around this entire room, it's clear that this is the only way to continue forward, if you wish to do so, or be trapped in this flowery pink room with all these corpses of these fluffy, adorable creatures. The wizard looks towards you all with this charming little smile on his face as he just says, "Well, are all of you ready for the next test?"
That's gonna turn into a slide. I know it. You did that last time.
I would not this time.
Yes, you would. Fuck yes.
Well, Worm has never been on a slide.
Oh, I mean, if you want it to be a slide, you see him clap his hands, and then immediately the stairs sink down into a slide.
Yeah, Worm will walk over, give Master Wizard a bow, and then he's gonna slither down the slide.
Like a worm.
He lays on his belly.
Slides on his belly.
It's a water slide.
Look just raises a hand and then just drops it.
Well, who's next?
Slide's always fun, and Morgana just jumps and jumps down the slide.
I don't think Yumi says anything and just immediately goes after
Before
me.
whoever goes that after me will get static electricity.
Fuck.
Yumi's already down.
He just puffs up.
He just puffs up. His hood falls down, and his fur is an afro. It's fine. He's still going. You just see the look on his rabbit face, and it's just one of extreme discomfort.
The rabbit face.
The wizard looks towards the two remaining gentlemen and just says, "Well."
Sonam looks to Loic and just does the very exaggerated "after you" extended arms towards the stairs, following behind, but not going down.
He just looks over at that and just shakes his head with a sigh and walks forward, kind of giving this side eye in the direction of Mr. Sir Wizard Lord God person, before he just kind of disappears into the darkness of what's underneath.
All right. And
And-
as you...
Oh, yeah, he's not down. I just want to say that he does the Legend of Korra thing, where on the way to the slide, he just dagger eyes at the wizard, and while walking, 2 fingers to his eyes, 1 finger pointing at him, and then does it again a few times, just I'm watching you, and slides.
Wizard just blows a little kiss, and then Wyatt's free to slide on down as he'll step towards the top and look down as you guys are sliding. Each of you, it's a little harder for those who went down first to kind of hear him. It's more of a distant call, but his voice does manage to reverberate down the entirety of the slide as you guys just hear, "Make sure to watch out for your necks!" And then the area above you closes slowly, covering the entirety of all of you in just darkness. You can still feel yourself sliding down this surface, wind of some sort rushing past you. And sure enough, one by one, you guys do feel a sensation encapsulate each and every one of your necks. Something stretching maybe about 2 inch, about 1.5 to 2 inches long, wrapped around the entirety of your guys' necks and clamping down. It feels metallic. It's hard to kind of get a feel as to what exactly it may be in this complete darkness. However, eventually do spot...
Loic cast light.
Got it. Casting light, you are able to kind of get a sense of a... How far does it go?
It's 20 bright, 20 low, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so considering
Yeah.
how...
That's what it is. 20 bright, 20
Okay.
dim.
20 bright, 20 dim. Okay, yeah. So considering the speed of which you guys kind of went in one after another, you do notice Yumi a little bit ahead of you. Behind you, you see Sonam. And kind of looking at each of their necks, you see what appears to be a metal collar of sorts. There's a little flashing red light on the side of it that seems to be going off every so often, but not bright enough to really give any sense of light, really. And towards the ends of this slide that you guys are making your way downwards, you spot another point of light. As one by one, you guys are dropped off about 8 feet. It doesn't hurt you really, but still an uncomfortable fall as you plummet out of the slide from a ceiling-like structure onto a wooden floor. And let me move you guys. Looking around, you see a rather long extended area. It's hard to tell if you're in a hallway or what, but looking towards your left, you see what appears to be these long red velvety curtains blocking your view from whatever is on that side, while off to your right, there's just a completely stone wall. Looking around at this area, you see a number of dressers, racks of clothes, full-length mirrors, sort of what appear to be vanity desks with a assortment of perfumes and makeups resting on top. It is just completely dead silent amongst your guys' breathing, and I'm sure occasional grunts of discomfort from the landing.
I do a somersault landing style.
Roll me acrobatics check.
Sheet load things.
Parkour.
Oh god, this is not gonna go well. We
11. Okay.
Let's see.
All right. You can. Whoever wants to try to make a cool landing, roll an acrobatics check.
I think Worm's just gonna go for a plop.
Worm, you belly flop onto the floor. With Yumi kind of no, it was Morgana who went next. So Morgana, as you go to try to make a decent landing, you realize it's going to be a bit difficult with Worm laying right there, and you had gone onto the slide just a few seconds before him. So immediately afterward, you do manage to catch yourself, but you stumble by landing on top of Worm's back and digging your feet into his spine a couple times before stumbling off of him and catching yourself.
Oh.
sorry.
It's fine.
No worries from me. Worm has many vertebrae.
Realigned his back.
She'll offer a hand to help him up.
Worm will accept it.
For you, Yumi, as you notice the two of them, you adjust your body a bit off to the side so that you don't go knocking into the two of them, and land crouching down, but solidly before standing back up without any issue. The same with Sonam, who, well, is after you don't have Loic, right? Loic, who. I assume there's no acrobatics check, so Loic, you will very much.
Well, that's the thing. You never described what would happen. I was gonna say he's not gonna necessarily try to do a cool landing, but he's just gonna try not to wipe out.
Roll me acrobatics then.
Gotcha.
3-point superhero landing.
Not in this reality. Not with this 0 acrobatics.
You might.
Or that's exactly what happens.
Our new Captain America, guys.
So actually, you guys kind of like with the exact same rolls that you guys get. Loic, you're the first to land, managing to make sure you don't bump into any of them as you do a full-on 3-point hero landing, and within seconds, Sonam does the same right to the left of you. You guys look perfectly matching.
Loic just gets up and just shakes his hand and like dusts at his knees. Says, "It's bad for your legs."
Yumi
Sonam
just touches his face and watches them like, was I supposed to do that too?
Slightly
out loud.
self-conscious.
Still frizzed.
Still, yeah, he's still real fluffy. It's fine.
You look different. Was it your eyes? No.
My fault.
And he just sort of pulls up his hood like, it's fine.
Oh.
Can the hood even like get over the afro?
He sure is gonna try. Don't worry about it.
It takes a little adjustment before you're able to kind of like pull it right over the very top of the afro, and it's kind of just like standing a couple inches above your head now.
Yeah, he's just gonna pull down the sides, and this is how he's gonna stand for a while.
That looks good on you.
You really don't have to lie.
Yeah, it looks like shit.
I know.
Just-
Lying just makes it worse.
He
'Cause
just
it
walks
means you
past him with a
pity
pat.
me. Okay.
Can I?
Run.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say Morgana runs over to the side and starts inspecting like what's over here. Looks around. Oh, we get to be actors in a play. This will be
I
fun.
know.
Fun.
Guess there's not many other interpretations.
I think Yumi's gonna go over to where Worm is because I assume what you're going to do.
Yeah, I would like to peek what's behind the curtain.
All right. as you pull open the curtain and sort of peek outward, at first you just see complete darkness before down the straight lineway you see a stretched out long red carpet, and flickering on one by one down this sort of pathway you see, if you want to reveal it, Heath, what appears to be a runway of sorts, and resting on either side of the runway are a number of seats filled with a number of different people, from gnomes to elves to humans to orcs, just all sorts of people. And at the very, very end, you spot the wizard sitting at the center on the desk, in front of this wooden table of sorts, and there's this large red button in front of him. As well as two individuals on either side of him. If, Heath, if you want to describe the individual sitting to the left of the wizard.
Oh, okay. So on the left, you do see what looks to be this towering half-orc man, sitting almost 6'8" in height, massive bulk on shoulder, with long and kempt black hair and kind of like a thick stubble on his face. He seems to be wearing what looks to be some very battered chainmail shirt, but contrasting that, has very finely made throwing axes in his belt, and on his back he has his giant warhammer slung on it with these strange runes on them. He looks about the room with this very angry scowl on his face, with his dark green eyes.
If you want to show the token and blow him up for people to see.
Yep.
Wait a damn minute.
I couldn't.
As soon as I heard runes, I was like, wait.
No, I had to think it for a second. It's like, who's the last half-orc I heard that wore chain arm? Wait a second.
I was hoping that description would clue in for Judah and you. I'm like, hey, guys, like that.
My boy.
Our boy.
And the individual that you see sitting to the right of him, this very neatly dressed, petite young woman with long, sort of pinkish-colored hair tied into this large braid. These large glasses are sitting on the end of her little
No
sort of
fucking way.
nose.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
this is your character, isn't it?
If you can show her image as well.
There she is. There's a girl.
I hate it here.
Yeah.
I hate it here.
I like how I have
This is the other
absolutely no
dimension.
context.
Yeah,
But I
Kyle,
do
These
know
are
this
from other
character.
games.
No, I know it's
Oh.
from other game. I know this character specifically because I've seen Nikki draw them before.
We came up with this and we had so much fun with this concept.
Oh my god.
This is just like all of our campaigns, just abridged version. I love this.
It's Ember Island on Avatar.
I hope we get
Worm
some
will
battle
turn
rock
around.
appearances.
That
And
means
let
the final
everybody
boss
know
next
we are at an auction.
I'm waiting to see Candy at some point, and it's just going to be, oh god.
She's one of the bosses. It's just Candy,
Oh,
but scaled to 3 times her size. Oh my god.
we needed a Simon Cowell and Paula Abdul.
Oh my god.
That. Okay, that's actually genius.
Thank you.
I didn't quite get the. Fucking god. Wait a second. Wait. Does that mean that the wizard's supposed to be? Fuck. What's her name? What's that bitch's fucking name?
Fuck.
The wizard's just the wizard, the neutral party.
Oh my god.
As you turn back to sort of alert the group that the fact that you guys are going to be auctioned off, Worm, you notice another individual sort of standing backstage with you. At first glance, it appears to be a woman dressed in this very neat, body-hugging, sort of long blue dress, rather elegant looking. But as you kind of sort of slowly trail your gaze up her, you realize, she's rather flat, and then oh wait, is that that's some very like recognizable facial hair. Oh wait, it's the wizard wearing a blonde wig and a rather elegant dress.
Drag.
Literally fucking Heidi Klum.
I'm gonna do something real quick. Nikki,
Okay.
I don't know if that's what you planned, but we're just gonna see right here if Worm even realizes that is the wizard in a.
Oh no.
No, wizard Worm fully believes this is a different person.
I love him.
What the fuck is this? You know what? Never mind. I don't even want to know his end.
As this woman finally speaks and is just like, don't worry, this is actually a, that's really hard to do. So, don't worry, you're not being auctioned off. This is actually a, show of sorts. A fashion talent show of sorts.
Wait, is this
Not
question? Is this like
participate.
surprisingly like modern, or is it like to the taste of a D&D world? Do we just see like these
Taste of a
fucking-
D&D world.
Okay, got it.
As he
Someone's
speaks again,
gonna-
he just says, oh, what?
Oh, can someone see if there's any like trap doors in the back there or like on the runway? Does he see anything strange?
Roll me perception.
Would I have already seen it on the runway? My passive is a 20.
Yeah, passive is 20, so you did not notice any sort of thing that looked like a trap door. However, you have noticed that, more specifically in the previous room as well, it's not unusual that the wizard sometimes makes things just sort of appear. So, while it's not currently mechanically there, that's not to say one couldn't appear.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, it can fall anytime. Got it.
But I will actually say with your passive, though, you do note that the rather large red button currently sitting in front of the wizard, he occasionally keeps sort of adjusting in, sort of like adjusting excitedly in his seat, sort of straightening up, looking rather giddy.
I already know, but
So there is a wizard dressed normally at the table at the end of the runway, and behind you, dressed in drag.
mhm.
Mean new talent show, blonde lady.
that's the wizard worm.
No, wizard much more handsome.
Yumi just gives up. He's not gonna do anything else. It's a lost cause.
Wait, is the curtain?
Like you're the idiot. Like, shake his head and roll his eyes at you. Like,
Yeah.
Is
Jimmy's just
the
gonna-
curtain fully open, or
Deadpan.
is it still just like being cracked open by?
It's just being cracked open.
Okay. I feel like Loic is just like standing like a little bit away, so everybody in the back just kind of seeing what's going on, and is confused is a very light way of putting it. Huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking up, the wizard in drag turns to each of you and just says to explain. So, with the previous room, the wizard, tested out your wonderful battle prowess. And now I'm curious to learn about each and every one of you and your charismatic side, your ways of thinking, your ways of approaching people. I just want to know you all better.
Yumi raises his hand.
Yes.
What if you're not very charismatic?
That sounds like a you problem. I guess you will not be winning this show.
That's fine. I just want to make sure I'm not going to die because I'm unlikable.
Not today.
No. You will not die. I'm not a monster. You just won't win. And yes, there is a prize for winning.
Okay, great.
Mm,
I know
what
who
if-
I am, so
right.
I just wanted to check.
Understood, understood. No, really, the only thing you have to worry about is if you don't participate, because that's not allowed.
I don't know. This sounds a whole lot like an auction.
So, Morgana's already rummaging through the clothes to see if she can find anything that looks better than her current clothes.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. As you're sort of like looking over the clothes, interestingly enough, while there are a variety of them, sort of there from dresses to tux to what appears to be a hot dog suit, really, as occasionally a piece of article of clothing sort of pops in your head and you sort of absentmindedly think, maybe this would look nice if he had this, you see it suddenly appear on the rack.
Interesting.
So, if Worm was imagining that he had a bucket of blood, would that appear?
If he starts picturing himself drenched in blood, yes, a bucket of blood appears on the
Okay.
rack.
Okay, yeah. So then, when that happens, Worm will just start taking his clothes off and pouring the blood on him.
Oh yeah.
It's
I feel like-
what was it, Perry?
I feel like Loke stares at this process all up until he realizes that it's inappropriate to do so anymore.
As you see a naked lizard man bathing in blood.
Yeah, he hasn't seen a lizard man before. I'm sure he hasn't seen what a lizard man is typically equipped with either. And
Yeah.
he doesn't want to find out.
So he is a lizard man.
Loic isn't staring, so Nom is just, huh.
Well, as you all watch the spectacle, that is Worm getting ready for his talent show. He
Worm pulling out
finishes
his
getting
worm.
undressed. He covers himself in blood. He picks up his axe, and then he's gonna walk out onto the stage.
Wow.
What a champ.
As Wes.
All right.
So Worm starts.
Puts his hands on his face, but he like peeks open his fingers to like watch still.
So, Worm, you make your way towards the curtains, and as you go, the wizard in drag sort of speaks up, and she's like, "Oh, wait, don't you want to hear the... Oh, he's gone. All right. Well, I like his enthusiasm. Go, it's fine. The rest of you will pick an order. He can go first. This is quite enjoyable. Worm, then, I guess you're going first.
Naked with blood all over him. Did you not put your clothes back on?
No. So
All right. Just wanted to make sure.
first of all, Worm has an entertainer's background. So
Oh my god, yeah.
God.
All right.
let me look up what that is again because I didn't put it in my sheet because I honestly did not think it was gonna come up.
It's a cookies game, Dylan.
The
The entertainer-
entertainer's a bit different than I mean,
Really?
musical instrument, maybe.
Well, you get you're proficient with performance for guaranteed.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what what entertainer you are, because actor,
So-
dancer, fire eater, jester, juggler.
Gladiators under entertainer as well.
That is true.
Gladiator. That is 100% what it is. So he's just gonna walk out on there and like Adam DeMant from Workaholics just start making fucking faces at the crowd and like showing off his muscles and swinging the axe real cool like and
He's swinging something.
You just hear as he walks out a voice going, "Holy hell, that's impressive."
No, I'm going to ask something as the resident furry because I'm the only one who's brave enough to do so. Is there a slit or is it out?
That is a valid
I
question.
don't know what lizard's anatomy is like, so let me check this out.
Usually it's hidden. This is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
So Ken dolling it.
Well,
Well,
as your resident not safe for work professional furry artist.
Funnily enough, there's a fun conversation I had with an actual biologist about like the nature of dragonborn genitals. The idea is that if the core temperature of their bodies isn't warm enough to sustain it, it would always have to be an innie. Which brings up a very interesting prospect that ice dragonborn might have innies, whereas fire dragonborn may have outies.
What is
Wow.
happening?
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Glad
You're
to know.
so welcome.
Did he mention if the balls would be out or not?
Oh my
Those are included
He has
because it's
any.
all a part of the reproductive system. Sperm is
Mhm.
really, really sensitive. So if it's too
Mhm.
warm or too cold, right,
Mhm.
that's the entire purpose of it. Is that if
Mhm.
it's further away, it won't get cooked alive, and if it's
Okay.
inside, it won't get frozen. Yeah.
Now that you're equipped with this knowledge, please tell us.
This is recorded for all existence. I like it.
Lizard folk anatomy is the female lizardman deposits eggs within the male, and then the male ingests them and fertilizes them internally. The male then incubates the eggs for a period of 3 to 4 months before regurgitating the hatch.
Didn't know lizard folk were seahorses.
Oh my god.
Time to see the baby.
So there is no outward genitalia.
Got it.
Understood.
So glad we as a group came together and learned this.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, this is very important information.
Yup.
So you hear a Grotus's exclamation of like impressed, sounding rather impressed. Meanwhile, the woman sitting to the right of the wizard immediately starts covering her eyes, just like, oh my gosh. I need to roll my performance with advantage.
Oh God. She's gonna bite someone.
Oh man. She just tackles work. She hasn't had a blood meal in a while, so
16.
Well, the question
16.
would be: is this a performance with a charisma, or would he be using a different stat like intimidate, like Constitution
I
and
am
charisma?
flexing.
Yeah, because
It's his charisma.
okay.
So good though. So as you're walking down the runway, so Worm, you stretch yourself completely bathed in blood. 1 second.
This is Worm's only talent. I do like the music. That just I'm imagining this lizard folk just.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
As you stretch yourself, flexing at the audience, you hear a number of cheers and woo, and one distant voice, and like, yeah, get it, lizard man.
God.
it's the lady who tried to get class
No
color
attention.
cookie.
Because he's a professional.
A trail of blood kind of follows after you down the walkway. Sort of like footstep effects in a video game, though. Like after a certain amount of time, it fades away, lifting off of the carpet, cleaning itself bit by bit. As you find yourself towards the end of it, a voice from you see the wizard lean forward at the table at the front as he's just grinning ear to ear, and he's just like, "All right, now strike a pose.
What did he say? Sorry, I didn't understand that last part.
Strike a pose for the last
pose?
for the end."
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Worm will get down on one knee. He's gonna put his face down into one fist, and then he's gonna hold his axe high over his head, and just let the blood from the axe just drip onto him.
All right, I need you to roll me a 1d5.
Oh no, that doesn't involve any skill. What do I type for that shit?
Dash or D5. Space D5.
Dash.
Yeah, so backslash, yeah. So here, I'll put it like that. Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
2. You're not wearing clothes.
Plan foil.
Yeah, so basically what happens is, sparking, like, a couple inches off from directly touching your skin comes this burst of flames from the floor up to your body. However, as you are not currently wearing anything flammable, really, it sort of just dances across your form, adding quite another,
That
extra
sounds fucking
element.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. To
I'm gonna fucking rage right now. I'm fucking. I'm raging.
Wait, what happened?
From
Flames.
before, like basically, you know, kind of like Rockstar, fire flames right under him. They're supposed to burn his clothes, but instead he just looks even fucking cooler.
It was
It
meant to
evaporates.
set clothes on fire, but he's not wearing any, so...
Does the blood get all crusty and gross?
No, it was specifically for clothes. Alright, so you rage, and with this mighty burst of flames that erupts from beneath you, Worm, you look rather ferocious, and immediately there's this loud burst of cheers from the crowd as everyone is just hyped out of this. Even Ayla kind of peeks from between her fingers at all of this happening. The woman sitting next to the wizard, it just seems kind of like amazed by this. And you see the wizard like quickly take down, pick up a piece of paper, write something down on it, and hold it up as you see him holding a 10. Looks to Grotus.
And Grotus kind of rubs his chin, is like, it's pretty good, I admit, but seems to be missing something, not sure what it is, and holds up a 4.
Oh,
Cronus, no.
a 4 out of what?
10.
Damn!
That's so harsh.
Hold back
You only
your
do
ears
the
a little
Simon
bit.
Cowell, bro.
Simon. Yeah, it's a Simon.
You see Ayla kind of take out a quill and very, like, nervously write down her own grade and hold up a piece of paper in front of her face to still block her vision as you see another 10.
Just hear Grotus look over at the other, goes, you're a bit of a delicate one there, aren't you?
He is naked right now.
What? You ain't never seen a Free Willy before?
It's rather inappropriate, really. This is not what I expected. I don't know what I expect. How? What? And there's like a flicker of something that dances across the front of her eyes before she kind of shakes it off and sort of rights herself as like this questioning expression turns back to like, oh yes, this is happening. I know what's going on. So you got total points of 24, if you can mark that down.
Yeah.
Nice.
And 1 second. As you make your way back down the catwalk, Worm, once again getting a round of applause of like cheers and whoops and hollers, and a lot of very, the more aggressive looking crowd for sure is very enthused by the performance you just put on. As you make your way into the back, and the wizard in drag is clapping his hands, rather looking very impressed. Quite the show.
Thank you, kind lady.
He's just
I'm
gonna
so-
look. You see Grotus look over at the wizard, look back at the lizard man, looks back at the wizard, and goes, maybe his sight's not so good.
It's
That's more
backstage
than a
Heath.
fight.
That's backstage Heath.
Worm will go
it's
put his
making
pants
noise.
back on now, and then wait. He goes, top that.
Oh, no.
That's not
The
good.
wizard will look towards the rest of you guys as he's just like, well, since I didn't have the chance really to explain, you are meant to impress the judges out there, the crowd as well, but mostly the judges, and move on to the other sort of events that will happen. But first is the catwalk, dress in whatever you so desire, and he gestures towards the coat rack that Morgana's currently by.
So then we'll walk over, just very casually sift through things, and then just steps away from it.
If anyone's looked over in Morgana's direction, he has tried on multiple, and there's probably, if there's a physical pile, there is a pile of clothes next to her, and it's just getting taller and taller as she tries on more different clothes.
Retail must hate her. You
Understood. So, I actually need each of you guys to just roll initiative, just so I know the order that you guys will be stepping out.
My bad, Nikki.
No, it's all good. That is really funny.
I mean, you basically you got the surprise round off.
Exactly.
You're the
I
real
do-
MVP.
With
This is
the way
one of
this
those
is
ones in
going.
which I really wish I didn't have high initiative.
Worm
Let's
walked
see.
out, did his naked routine, walked back, and then there's like a long pause before somebody.
while this is happening, Yumi's just gonna tuck himself into the back corner or something, pull out his little scroll and just look at it for a little bit while everyone does their business. Don't worry about him, he's fine.
This initiative is so fitting.
Screaming.
At least for Morgana.
Is everyone on the initiative? For some reason, I'm only seeing 2.
Oh, I
I
didn't
was
click.
wondering if you
I didn't realize. I didn't think I needed to click my token.
That just makes it easier so we can see
Yeah.
it.
I got a 7.
I got it.
Thank you, Heath.
Wait, I can change it myself.
I got it. Don't worry.
That's right.
And as this is all happening, the wizard and drag will look towards the less enthused individuals in the group and will just say, "And I know I stated before that it is not optional to do this. You also must put in effort. It is seen that you are not putting in any sort of effort. Well, you'll find out."
No, I know. I have to do this real quick. So
Can Sunum just try to kind of peek at what Yumi's doing? Or is he like in the corner?
he's like in the corner, but he's like not tucked away, and he's not necessarily hiding what he's looking at, because what he's looking at is like kind of a larger scroll that has like
Mhm.
glowing ink on it. It looks like an old school like astrology map, so it has a bunch of
Ooh.
stars and stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like one of those complicated, like there's a lot of circles, there's a lot of geometry happening. It's kind of a lot, and he's just sort of
Squints.
very
keep
intently looking at it and tracing some lines between some stars and stuff. He's doing this as a ritual.
Ooh.
Okay. And as you're sort of peeking at what Yumi's currently doing, a voice sort of bellows out from just really this entire space around you, and the wizard's voice just saying, "Sonam, you are up next."
No. Can't I just be the makeup artist or something?
Okay, 1 second.
Yeah, he's gonna die.
Wow.
Zachy, roll me a 3d8.
Oh boy. 3d8. Boop. 10.
You hear a little beep sound from your collar around your neck as this jolt of electricity comes through the entirety of your body, and you take 10 lightning damage.
Okay. This is fine. Sort of just for a moment, freezes up, and then the hair that is already disheveled on his head it's just to get a little more frizzy. It's not an afro, but some of that static went up, and he just sighs. Fine. Starts walking, looks at Worm for a second, just stares at him in a real. He just stares like uncomfortably long, and then shakes his head and starts walking forward.
What are you dressed in, Sonam?
Nothing. It's just his regular clothes.
As you go to take a step out onto the catwalk, I need you to roll me another 3d8.
Oh no.
As the minute the wizard at the end of the table sees you, you see him slam his hand down on the red button.
Oh my god.
No, I'm afraid.
Immediately, this time a much sharper jolt jolts through the entirety of your body as you're shocked yet again for a 22 lightning damage.
Oh, okay. I will do that math in a sec. Wait, 8,
What?
1,
You're at 16, so.
and 16. He falls over.
Oh boy.
Just kind of stares at the ceiling for a second to contemplate why he's here and why he's cursed upon this life, and that he wishes he had wings. So he just slowly stands up, puts up a finger just like 1 second, goes back into the backstage, grabs the hot dog costume,
Oh, no.
puts it on, and then comes back outside with the most unamused face.
Roll a performance check. And I will say with the lack of enthusiasm, roll it with disadvantage.
He still has one more thing on him. Performance. Yeah. 8.
8. So, rather than strutting down the walkway, it literally just seems like you're dragging your feet down it, Sonam, as you step. And the crowd is just, rather than the glorious cheers that Worm had gotten before, you just hear some kind of mumbling and muttering amongst amongst the group, including one voice who are calling out, just going like,
Oh, wait.
why aren't you shaking what your mama gave you?
Oh boy, corny old lady.
Sonam just wiggles
Want her name to be Dolores.
half-heartedly and just says, okay. He goes up to the front of the stage. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag
Wow.
drifting through the wind?
Bruce immediately speaks up and it's like, this is not the talent portion. You are terrible at this.
House of Cards.
Roll me a 1d5.
One D5. Oh no.
Okay, standing there, like a dog sticking its head out of a moving car, this whoosh of wind lifts up from underneath you, and your lips sort of flap underneath the force of it, as well as the costume sort of lifting up high enough to kind of reach the lower hole that your face is in, kind of lifting up towards your nose. What do you do with this happening?
God, what would he do? I'd say he'd fall over, maybe does one backwards roll, and then I don't know. He's going to attempt a backwards flip and try to do that down the carpet line.
Roll me acrobatics with disadvantage as you are wearing a hot dog costume.
Yeah, just parkour. So disadvantage. It's a 9. You can see him like half rolling, but because like the hot dog part is like sticking out from the bottom, he ends up like rolling over to the side, and then he tries again, and then he falls off the stage, and then he gets back up, and then like faces the crowd. He's like right over here or something, looks at one of the audience members, does a curtsy, and then gets back on the stage.
Just you hear this collective sort of growing rumbling of talking turning into just sort of unamused shouting at you, as well as boo boo.
Perfect, just end me, it's fine.
And as this is happening, you see the wizard just shaking his head, tisking, as, 1 second. One second. You see him sort of like tap his chin for a moment, and then write down on his, piece of paper and holds up a 4. Grotus.
Grotus looks over at this and goes, "You know, as a cook, I find the costume greatly offensive and really poorly done. To be honest, it did make me sort of hungry for goblins, so I'll give you 2." And he puts up 2 points.
Gives him a double.
Aelin looks over. The girl sitting beside the wizard kind of looks towards the 2 and then looks at you, Sonam, with like a sympathetic wince. So she's like, "I'm very sorry. You did your best though.
really
You see her
didn't.
wince? Oh,
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Here, for effort." And you see her write down a number and hold it up, and she's holding a 7.
One goes, what?
He is just like, he stares at her again, uncomfortably long, very confused. But for that, he taps the side of his pocket, and he calls out for Lychee.
Oh. Running up your arm comes this little white little mouse that comes to sit on top of the wiener portion of your hot dog costume.
So now looks up, well, where he thinks Lychee is, and just, I don't know, dance for them. Do the backflip.
Roll performance for Lychee, which is just charisma.
Yes, you know, like those TikToks where people hold their cats up and do the little dance, but Lychee doing it himself. Charisma.
Oh,
A 4.
Or with the wind still blowing, you see Lychee try to do it, but her little paws end up having to grab onto the top of your costume as the wind is still blowing a bit too harshly for her, and the bottom half of her body is like fluttering up towards the sky.
he's doing a handstand.
He's doing that
mouse alone! What are you doing?
She's doing her best. Gets Lychee off, and then just tries to like block the wind and hold her in both palms. Just like, it's okay, you did your best. It's fine. Ta-da!
Bloody animal cruelty!
Sitting between the two, it just shakes his head. It's just like, efforts towards the mouse for trying, but really, Sonam, I know you can do better than this. And you see him smack his hand down on the red button. Roll me a 3d8.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go unconscious.
3d8.
Yeah.
18. I'm unconscious. You guys just see him once again, just kind of his body is spazzing out, and then he just falls face forward in this hot dog costume.
Oh boy.
He made sure to extend his hand out first so that Lychee would not be crushed by the hot dog, but he's just gonna lay there. It's okay. He's taking a nap.
Ayla just covers her mouth and it's just like, oh dear.
Loic
You
was
see
getting
Grotus-
like,
You see Grotus
Sorry.
take a sniff in the air and go, Hey! Pinky! You feel like barbecue after this? I'm starting to get hungry!
Oh my god.
I feel like Loic was like getting in the middle of getting dressed, like all tuxedoed up and whatnot, before he just hears like this thud and like zapping thud, and just like kind of like half runs to the curtains to like peek around to see them.
His arms are splayed
you
out.
peek out,
His
you
skinny
see
arms
that-
of the fucking hot dog. Sorry, keep going.
As you peek out, you see Sonam in his hot dog glory, just laying face down on the floor, and the wizard in drag is currently sashaying down the catwalk to grab his ankles and drag him towards the
Loic just uses message towards the wizard, and it's like, need any help with that?
Oh, if you don't mind, I hate labor. He drops on his feet.
Yeah, Loic just like runs over to the side of him for a moment, and just kind of like looks at this weird spot that he's kind of in before he just kind of snaps out of it and rubs his hands together to kind of create this yellowish glow, and will kind of like resuscitate as if resuscitating him. Just places both hands on Sonam's ketchup and mustard chest and will restore a single health point to get him back onto
Wow.
his feet.
He jolts again, coughing. He hears little Lychee just kind of squeaking near his ear. Just, oh god, this is over.
You know, This makes it a lot easier. He just goes ahead and grabs the sides of the costume and just hoists him over his shoulder. Just walks back into the curtains.
At first, he wiggles to try to resist, but then, like halfway through the walk, he just goes limp and just, he gestures for Lychee to follow behind, and just the little mouse is next to your feet, keeping up.
He uses the absent hand because he's only really doing it with one. He just casts Mage Hand and lifts up the little mouse.
And as you finally bring him towards the backstage, the voice rumbles above you guys again, saying, "Loic, you are next!"
He just places he places Sonam down on the side so he doesn't just rocking chair back and forth on what I assume to be the slightly curved hot dog suit. I'm not sure if it's curved or not, but
Yes, it is. It has to be.
it's like a banana suit, but it's a hot dog.
It's a banana. He starts rocking and then he falls sideways.
God, I hate it. But yeah, Loic hears that, and kind of scratches his head for a moment and peeks out of the curtain again and shoots another whisper towards the wizard and is like, "What segment is this again?"
You are to dress your best that you think will impress.
He just kind of listens to that and kind of cringes a little bit at the absolute gaudiness that is the wizard's voice before he just kind of shrugs and thinks for a moment before he goes and changes his wardrobe just a tiny bit, changing the more traditional tuxedo, when by traditional I mean formal, to something that's a little bit more fitting of someone of his own order. Kind of a bit of these kind of, you can almost see these more regal colors of these greens and almost purples. It's almost surprisingly flashy for what is expected, but is melded and mixed in a way that almost seems a little bit unnatural. And he kind of looks at the suit for a moment. It's I don't even know how I found this. He was pretty sure he was looking for something that was just, a little bit different, but it turned out to be a lot, albeit familiar. Because I'm assuming that this wardrobe makes no fucking sense at all.
It'll appear what you think of in your head.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's something that both looks a little bit formal with just a decent hint of alien to it. And Loic kind of opens his mouth. Common words don't leave. Which confuses him for a moment before he shakes his head and will confidently march out onto the runway.
Roll my performance.
Oh boy.
Work it.
I have a different kind of charisma. This is not good.
Oh man. Okay, with a surprising amount of confidence in yourself, Loic, you walk down with such a sureness to your step and sway of your hips that it has almost like a strut vibe to it, just with the strength behind it, and you get a number of oohs from the crowd, as well as a distant voice saying "Yeah, that's right."
Oh my god! I like to think that instead of the eye patch that he normally wears, it's actually a masquerade, half mask.
Okay.
Because I'm remembering parts of his inspiration. Hello. But but yeah, no. He kind of stops there, and it immediately as he reaches the end of the actual walk, runway, he immediately all the charisma kind of just stops for a moment as he's particularly unsure of what to do. And he just kind of does a little, almost like a curtsy, before he just well, this is it, but it doesn't come out as, well, this is it. More this weird mesh of, noises that are clearly a language, but just not common. as he's speaking in deep speech, without really noticing fully that he's speaking in deep speech.
Ooh.
Got it. Alright. Roll me a... Give me a... roll me a d5.
Understood. Wait. Yeah. Can I just do? Okay, no, I can't do that. Roll d5. 1. Oh no.
1. Oh, okay. As you're standing there, Loic, like something straight out of, well, movies don't exist, but for reference to the rest of us here who know what movies are, water pours down on top of you from the sky. What do you do?
What? That's actually fucking hilarious. Loic sees the water falling from the sky and almost kind of instinctively, because he was just speaking and almost was about to start conversation, maybe, because he really wasn't sure what to do there. He raises a hand and with a swirling motion, he causes the water to, in the same speed that it's falling down, spread into sparkling mist as he uses shape water.
Okay. Area of water that fits within a 5-foot cube. You instantly move. Okay. So this pouring of water that suddenly falls from the sky immediately dissipates into this sort of sparkling mist around you, giving you this very sort of mysterious air about you that immediately has the crowd sort of applauding and cheering for you, as well as a number of like ooh ah in amazement of this sort of performance that you've put on. So the wizard looks to you, Grotus, first.
Oh, I'll have to admit, the earthly colors really highlight his abilities, and the way he moved about the water was quite interesting. Always good idea to keep a suit dry. Nice movements. I'll have to give him a good 7. And he holds up a 7.
You got Simon Cowell.
What's that, Worm?
Worm's just sitting there behind the curtain, utter bullshit.
Loic is having like some serious internal conflict here because like, he's being thanked, but he's still pretty sure that this is all like the artistic tapestry of some greater being that he's just not aware of. So he's just like, do I resist that compliment or? Because apparently that's a pretty high score for this guy. So he's just like thinking for a moment before he just does like a little bit too giddy nod.
The woman sitting off to the right of the wizard gives you like an encouraging little nod of her head and smile. She's just like, yes, that was very good, very creative actually. I like what you did with the water there. And your clothes are rather nice too. Here. And you see her write out a 10 on her piece of paper. And the wizard nods his head. You see him reach into his pocket as he's thinking for a moment and takes out what appears to be this little 10-sided dice, and you see him roll it on the table in front of him.
Don't bomb this for me. Okay, that's not terrible.
So he kind of looks at the 5 number on the dice, and it's just like, it was alright, nothing too amazing, nothing too bad, I'll give you an average 5. Ayla kind of looks down at this a little confused.
Loic is like, it was to the point where he was almost getting into whatever was happening until RNG just slapped him in the face. And he just kind of crosses his arms while still faking, for the most part, a decent smile.
Sonam on the side in the back, just like with his leg, kind of reaches to tap Worm's leg to get his attention, and still on the floor, sideways with the smells, he's just like, it's okay, I think you're a 10.
Worm is very aware that he is a 10.
Your affirmations to mean nothing.
He's gonna like kneel closer to Sonam, who's laying on the ground. He goes, "Your performance was not a 4."
Wow. What is up, the 3?
You weren't quite pathetic.
Yeah, that.
But this is
Just rolls to his other side.
Worm will teach you to be strong, and he'll pat you on your hot dog costume.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
He gets knocked back into rocking.
Also, Cogs, to answer what you sent, it's literally up to interpretation what you think the judges will like the most.
So for Augury, you're supposed to tell me wheel woe or wheel and woe or
And
nothing.
they use the spell. Yeah, it's a spell. They use the augury spell, Nikki.
Oh, the augury spell. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you actually like post
If
it?
it's nothing, then like it's nothing, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's a wheel. It basically, Nikki, if it comes down to a die roll, for example, it's a wheel. It means nothing. It goes wheel woe because you can't predict,
Mhm.
right? Which we can't because this is going to come down to a die roll, as we've already proven.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if I didn't realize, and I was just like, well, I cast the spell anyway, so might as well ask.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Got it. Alright,
Mhm.
so Loic, you make your way back down the catwalk, again getting a number of cheers and hurrahs as a voice kind of shouts out from above. It's just like, well, that was quite the performance, ladies and gentlemen! Loic coming up in second place with the scoring so far, with Worm still ahead. Yumi, you're next.
Loic walks in with like this mildly annoyed face.
If it makes you feel better, you get to walk back there and look at Worm's smug fucking face.
oh my god.
Loic, when you walk back, you notice there's now a second pile of clothes. Next.
What's Morgana doing?
She's just grabbing clothes, changing them. She's like, no, this. She's gonna find something else, and she keeps doing it over
I
and
like to think-
over and over.
I like to think because she's projecting her perfectionism into the wardrobe, nothing will actually ever look just right.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
This one does.
She's doing amazing.
Truly.
Mhm.
Alright, Yumi, what are you dressed as?
Yumi's just decided that Worm did pretty good, but also Loic did pretty good. But also, he doesn't really know what he should be doing because he's kind of different. So,
What about Sonam? How did Sonam do?
I don't think Yumi even registered that Sonam went. I think he just heard a lot of noises happen and was like, oh, I wonder where Sonam went. Oh well.
and now he's on the floor rocking in a hot dog costume.
Yeah, I think Yumi thinks that Sonam still has to go at some point, but like hasn't for whatever reason.
Oh, and you know what? I was only off by 1 point. Fuck!
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
right. I was getting nervous. You getting those free fucking 10 points over there for nothing.
It's 22 to 24 for points.
Oh, 24. I thought it was 23. Okay.
Oh, 22 to 20. Yeah, because it's 7. It's 7 plus 5 is 20.
Yeah.
Makes it 12, and then 10 is 22. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Yumi has taken off like the majority of his robes. He's going to leave like, you know, like a nice long loincloth part, and like he'll keep on all of his silver jewelry. So he
Oh,
kind of
God.
just
Oh,
looks
God.
like a weird, skinny belly dancer.
Hey,
Don't worry about it.
Work it.
I know what I would put Yumi in, but Yumi doesn't know, so he's just struggling, and it's fine. So he's just gonna like fiddle his hands together, and then he'll go out as best as he can.
Roll your performance.
He is used to walking and performing in front of a bunch of people for his backstory, but he doesn't have that necessarily as his mechanical things. So
Yeah.
his performance. That's not bad.
Not
Okay.
bad.
You know, as you're sort of timidly walking down the catwalk in this belly dancer costume of yours, surprisingly, Surprisingly enough, the crowd seems to find your timidness endearing as you just hear this collective "aww,"
Good.
and as well as one
Justified.
one distant voice say like, "Yeah, take it off," as you're sort of nervously walking down the catwalk. As you reach the end, what kind of pose do you do?
I think he like raises up his hand, and my husband's trying to talk to me, and I'll be right back.
Hi, husband.
Got it.
As Yumi just glitches out for a second.
We're having technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Some crazy person tries to break onto the stage, and bodyguards materialize to protect you.
It's fine.
There's a residential furry just bursts up and tries to grab Yumi.
Yeah.
Mary, I love you. I'm your biggest fan, Mary, Mary.
Just like a
Zaku
furry,
appears
get
in
him.
person.
Except he's not. I should remember and say he's not like fully furred. Like his chest and like his
It
like
don't
hips
matter.
down to his thigh aren't. So it's just
Damn.
like his limbs and his head are all furry, but not the core of his body, I guess.
So he's like Minotaur style.
Kind of, but like with the arms and legs being. Oh yeah, I guess minotaurs are like that too. So yes, like a minotaur style.
So what kind of pose do you do at the end?
A
I
rabbit
think he
with a
raises
human
his hand and he
six-pack.
shoots off and he shoots off like a guiding bolt, and he tries to look divine because that's the only way he knows how to do.
And that's how the Yumi do.
He tries to be graceful and divine because, Seiloon is watching, hopefully. He's gotta do her proud.
Roll me a d5.
Oh boy. I've also marked off the guiding
4.
bolt.
Man, we've got everything different so far.
Yeah. Alright, so as you sort of take on the pose to shoot off a guiding bolt, you hear this collective like, ooh, from the crowd. And then you notice sort of this slippery sensation underneath the bottoms of your feet. As you look down, you realize the floor has become covered in oil. What do you do as you feel yourself starting to lose balance?
I think he's going to try to make it look graceful. As like a dead drop fall. He doesn't know it's a dead drop. But I know it's a dead drop.
All graceful folk.
Like while still shooting a guiding bolt in the air.
Yes. Shooting a guiding bolt. Hopefully everyone's looking at the guiding bolt.
Roll me acrobatics.
A what?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Or actually, no. Roll me.
Wow.
Oh,
Nice.
what's that doing?
What a stupid fucking encounter. I love this so much.
Yes.
I'm glad you enjoyed.
This is the best.
Not 20. Wow. Okay.
Great.
Yeah, Yumi, you just do a perfect dead man drop onto there with your leg up in the sky, the other one bent, very much in like a pose as the guiding bolt shoots off into the air, this burst of light, and there's immediately this roar of just like applause and shouting and amazement from everyone. The judges themselves are also looking quite impressed with that display you just put on.
Wow. That's good.
Grotus, you were first.
Grotus kind of scratches his chisel. I have to admit, I quite like the movement you did there at the end, especially with this flary thing with the sunlight. But I have to admit, your clothing, though, shows daringness and movement. You really are lacking something greater to it. You probably need a little more flair and some guidance. I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, just give you a 4. And raises a 4.
What the fuck?
No.
That starting block counts as quite a bit.
I can't fucking believe I got a good score from Simon fucking Cowell, and I still got put in second place. This is outrageous.
In the back, there's drama, and TV is with their cameras.
Right? The sheep sound effect.
Ayla gives like this polite little clap and happy little smile on her face as she looks quite amazed by what you just did, as well as a person who leans towards the religious as well, was quite appreciative of that guiding bolt that you just shot. And you see her write a 10 and then sort of underline it a couple times as she holds up a 10. And the wizard sort of thinks for a moment, picks up the dice that he had taken off the table for the previous one and rolls it. And as he's waiting for that to... As he waits for that one to decide, he reaches into his pocket and takes out a second dice to roll.
What?
Bullshit.
Yumi looks concerned.
God.
Oh shit!
Oh, wow.
Wern and Loic are just watching enviously.
As you see him look at these two numbers between them, the 10 being rather nice and the 3 being not so great, you see him kind of look at the two of them. We're like, yeah, okay, with his nodding, and you see him write something and hold up a 13.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Fucker, no!
Yumi just whispers like a very
Shit.
shaky.
Loic just silently whispers to himself, but like loud enough so the others can hear. That's cheating.
It's cheating. Oh god.
That's for your nat 20 there, Cox.
Great.
Ayla kind of looks at your the score that Wizard put up, and you see her sort of stammer out. She's just like, "Is that does that go along with the rules? That seems sort of unfair. No. Yeah, you know what? This is your thing that you're doing, Mister. I'm sure that is a wonderful scoring and exactly what should have been done. Right, Curtis?
Oh, usually when it's best to 10, 13, lucky number and all that, it's magnificent. You're really taking this fashion show to the next level. Your greatness. And did you see this like strange smile on his face, like that smile of manic craziness?
He's doing his best. That's his smile. So dashing.
No.
And you also, just as had I can't remember who it was earlier who saw it previously in Ayla's eyes. You notice it sort of sparkle across both hers and Grotus's eyes. This sort of flicker of arcane magic across their gaze as their words shift in the favor of the wizard, and the wizard looks quite proud of himself.
Yeah. Yumi just sort of like, he tries to get up as graceful as he can, and he just says a very shaky, like, thank you. And then we'll just sort of like think about what he saw, keep it to himself, bottle it up, put it on the shelf. Maybe he'll come back to it later.
With those emotions.
And he'll go back.
As a voice calls it from above, and there comes Yumi taking up first place with 27 points, pushing Worm down into second, Loic into third.
Yumi just holds his face a little bit. There's like a visible pink across his cheeks as he just sort of like tries to go back as quickly as possible.
Avoiding eye contact with the other two.
Avoiding eye contact the entire time. And just
Worm's doing whatever
immediately
the
going for his robes.
The exact opposite of avoiding eye contact is.
Glaring.
The furries are fighting.
Which team are you on, furry or scalies?
And from above, the voice then says, Morgana, you're up next.
Loic's just not paying attention to this at all.
Sonam looks at probably the third pile now.
Yeah, no,
He's
that's
just
the
like-
third pile.
He just
Just kinda
rolls over,
stares
just
at
like,
She just kind of
yeah.
looks herself in the mirror, picks out a very simple golden crown with a little purple diadem, puts her on her head, and just looks at herself. Right, this will do. Walks out. Her clothes have basically not changed at all, aside from the crown.
What's the one thing that changed, you said?
She picked up a crown.
Got it.
Understood.
You see the wizard and drag sort of look at the piles of clothes, look at what you're wearing, back at the pile, and back at you, and he's just like, well, you did put effort, I'll give you that. Alright, go on ahead.
She walks out. and she will do a bit of prestidigitation to let off a shower of sparks as she walks out, strutting outwards. Before, as she reaches around the middle part, she'll fire off a blast of sparkle flies, sending out, sparkling butterflies around her.
Oh, okay. I'll say performance with advantage.
Ooh.
And then, secretly, as she does this, she's going to cast guidance on herself.
Okay.
Okay, so performance at advantage.
Oof.
Roll again.
15.
With a D4. 19.
19.
Nice.
Alright. So, Organa, with this flutter of magical butterflies shooting out from behind your back, almost like a burst of magical wings that dissipate into the air, you strut yourself down the catwalk with all the confidence and grace of a woman of your nature could. Immediately getting a round of applause and cheers and wolf whistles from people in the crowd. As you come to a stop at the very end of the catwalk, what do you do?
She does the Rihanna hand flick pose. Hold on, let me find it. She does this one.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Got it, roll me a d5.
I
Oh my
love her.
fucking God. I knew that was the one too.
Oh no. Oh wait, the 4? Or no, it's the 2.
It's 2.
Alright, so bursting up from the floor comes this sudden burst of flames that immediately alight across your clothing. What do you do?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no. She will... Oh god.
Go crazy.
She will thunderwave. She will thunderwave downwards to try and put it out with a gust of thunder. I don't care if I damage myself.
You don't care if you damage, right?
I don't care if I damage myself.
Those are her clothes. It's very important. I mean, you can DC save, I think, yourself, maybe. I'm not sure.
How far does that go? 15-foot cube, so 5, 10.
15-foot cube.
So this burst let's see, you're trying to put out flames with this, so roll me Arcana.
Oh god.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Nice.
So, with a practice amount of expertise, the flames sort of merge together with the sort of static bursting across you, managing to push it off of your clothing, which it had begun to sort of trickle across, and this sort of mixture of color, burning, electrified color that bursts off of your person, giving you quite this dramatic effect around your body. As well as damaging the floor around you and the table that the judges are seated at. You see Ayla sort of jump back in surprise. The wizard just kind of looks down, kind of tilts his head a little curiously, and then sort of smacks the table and makes it right itself back up and snap back together. But they look rather impressed with what you just did. That was rather impressive. As the two judges look towards Grotus.
Grotus will kind of rest. I have to admit, that was a pretty good show there. The bit with the end there with the thunder boom wasn't bad, though. It was a bit hard on the ears. 7.
Alright. There's a nodding of approval at that. Ayla kind of gives you a small smile. She's just like, yes, that was rather incredible. The way you sort of took advantage of the situation and really played up your magical effect. It was quite wonderful, actually. So, you have my 10, as she holds up a 10. The wizard seems to kind of think for a moment, and again takes out a dice and rolls it.
We're not cheating on this one.
I felt bad. For
We'll
the
see, my
rabbit.
lizard friend. We'll see.
As you see him write an 8 and hold it up for you. Oh man, does that
She,
put you in first?
No, it doesn't.
No.
She blows a
25.
kiss out towards the crowd and towards the judges. Not knowing that, like, what has been happening before, she was kind of like, does he roll it openly?
Yeah.
Okay. She's like a little confused at first, but just continues to thank the crowd and everyone there.
Got it.
What
And
was
so
Morgana's score?
25.
yeah,
25.
you'll hear as she turns around, strutting her way back down the catwalk as the voice says, "And that is it for the first portion of today's show, with Morgana bumping Worm down to 3rd place, taking 2nd, and Yumi at 1st place. Can we have a round of applause for our contestants for all the work that they've put in so far, minus Sonam?" And everyone starts clapping.
Yay.
You guys just hear from the back, just like, yeah, you don't know talents. Fuck.
Yumi just looks down at Sonam and is just like, "You went? When did you go?"
Love how the
Don't worry
person with
about
the
it.
passive perception of 20 didn't notice.
Don't worry about it.
It's better that he didn't see it.
Oh boy. He's too busy looking at his map.
So the wizard and drag looks amongst all of you guys as he's just like, "Well, the lot of you have put up quite the performance so far," and reaches out to pat your shoulder, Worm, as he's just like, "Don't worry, I'm sure you'll have the chance to bump yourself back up to 1st place again with the 2nd round."
Touch me.
Understood, we've got a soldiers on our hands. Well, possibly. We'll see. You'll do great, I'm sure. Now,
Excuse
for the
me.
top...
Do I get to keep any of those clothes over there?
No.
Oh.
There's just this bright smile on his face. And now, for the talent show portion, I will give each of you time to converse amongst yourselves and figure out what you're going to show off. It can be anything, whatever you believe you are best at. As a talent, or something you're quite proud of, you'll show it off to the audience. Alright, ta-ta! And you see him walk over, manifest a seat against the wall, and take a seat. As you guys now have time to think over what you're going to do for your 2nd round.
Oh man, oh man, oh man.
And while you're at it, roll me another initiative too.
Okay.
For real honest, that was Worm's talent.
No. Just go out and do it again.
Unless they let me kill somebody in front of them.
I mean, you can request things, I suppose.
Yes, as you guys are sort of talking amongst yourselves, the wizard will speak up again and just say, "If you are in need of any, tools or assistance or anything of the sort, just let me know and we'll get it for you."
Requires a fighter.
Understood.
Oh god, they're gonna do something that's gonna kick my ass after. Actually,
Keith, I'm gonna send you a message.
oh no, Worm requires. Oh fuck! Give me a minute. Give me a minute to figure it out.
Out of curiosity, Nikki, still send me the message because you piqued my interest.
Got it.
How much time are we given to perform?
Really, it is until the audience grows bored, really. If you can keep their entertainment for a while, then you'll have the time, but they are rather fickle.
Wonder if they would sit there and watch me eat a whole animal live.
Oh my god.
Well, come see the man eating chicken.
Do we get to rest after this?
But maybe, who knows? The floors are a mystery.
Wince at him.
Maybe sort of puts his hands together and shuffles over to Morgana, very quietly asks, "Could you possibly spare prestidigitation? Because I'm covered in oil, and I don't know how to deal with it."
She will prestidigitation the
Thank you.
oil away.
Thank
Gina,
you.
we still need an initiative roll.
Oh, what? Oh, we're restarting. Okay. One
Yeah, new
second.
initiative.
No, please! Oh, God. Again, the worst fucking time for me to have good initiative. Oh, thank God.
I like how Worm's going last this time after like.
Worm needs time to emotionally recover.
Yeah, he's sulking the whole time.
You mean from that bullshit performances that everybody else gave? You got so many points for not getting wet.
Hey, man.
Oh boy.
I'm sure that after getting doused in blood, that must have been heart-wrenching for you.
The secret was to not douse myself in blood. That was the line.
If you had dodged the blood, then we'd be talking.
There you go. There you go.
You guys literally have the mean judge, the nice judge, who will only grade to a certain amount with certain rolls, and then the neutral random one, which is the wizard, determined on how you guys and what perform and what you do.
Right.
Feel like I'd rather not pull out any of Yumi's impressive tricks for fear of what will be next. So think
Me
I'm throwing
having
this
already
one.
half of my fucking spell slot.
Management game.
Alright, do you guys have a decision? Oh, wait, let me prepare something.
And Soma's again. First.
He hates his life. He's just slowly like trying to get himself up from the hot dog suit, get his balance, and then slowly take it off and heaving. Just can I? Fine, I will try it this time. Can someone just either put me out of my misery or heal me a bit?
Is he trying to get out of the costume?
He's out of it. Maybe like his leg is still stuck in it. He's like half wiggling it.
Got it.
Also, Heath, did you get my message?
Yeah, I got it, Nikki. It's gonna take me a minute.
Yeah, awesome. Background stuff's happening, you guys continue.
Okay.
So, how wiggle, kicks off the hot dog.
Loic just grabs his sword and just stabs the suit
Oh my god.
to keep it in one place.
Yumi just screams for a second because he thought Loke was just gonna fucking murder someone.
You mean fearing possible neutering.
Look,
Oh,
just like
boy.
very confusedly looks at the both of you.
Consider you stabbed a hot dog. What else do you think?
No,
What's a hot dog?
I don't know.
That.
I thought you were going to kill him,
Or
so I
that.
got scared.
Opens arms. My body is ready, sort of look.
Oh no,
Are
I
you
don't.
okay?
No.
I don't want to be a part of this.
Why are you on the
Loic is
floor?
just going to sheath the sword and step back.
Yeah.
I like to think this is the first time Morgana's actually noticed Sonam on the floor.
Sort of slowly.
He looks quite
just-
charred.
He is charred and he is crawling over to the 3 piles and burrows himself in it looking for something.
Oh,
Looks not electrified. Did someone electrify? Did I electrify him? Was it the slide? I bet it was
I
the
don't-
slide.
I don't know what happened. Because one
You
moment
see-
he seemed fine, and the next moment he was rocking in a hot dog costume, and I've lost track of time between those 2 moments.
If you were wondering, it wasn't the slide. My armor kind of picked up the rest of whatever static you left.
Oh, okay, good.
You
I'll
guys
take
see
the
a head pop up from the pile. Just it's this, and it goes back down. Points at Calder.
Yeah, that can apparently shock us if we mess up. So just be a bit careful.
Oh, this thing? Oh.
Hmm.
Well, I used to shock myself all the time, so I don't think it would bother me.
It might not. I'm not sure, but just be careful.
All right, is the talent ready?
No. He's
Look,
just mumbling to himself.
Look is just thinking real hard about what he could possibly do that isn't just basic knighthood shit. And then he's got it. He's gonna He's going to look around and he's going to imagine what effectively is like a medieval bakery of like just like equipment needed for baking.
Okay.
Baking show. Who was the one who had prestidigitation today?
Prestidigitation.
English.
You
so
didn't
numbers
even
gonna.
get close.
Right.
You know what? English hard. I'm gay. I can't speak. Anyways,
That's math. You have no fucking alibi.
That is math.
So, anyways, you guys see Sonam come out with. This time, he actually did put on a costume, though it's somewhat revealing of skin on the torso and is leathered up. I got them sexy boots, not heels. You know what? No, fuck it. Yeah, he'll make it heels. Slowly walking over, looking dead inside, but he's walking just fine, and just taps Morgana on the shoulder. Can you take off? Insert gesturing at the charredness.
Oh, yes. She'll clean him up with prestidigitation.
Okay, he just looks at himself, makes sure everything's good, and then looks at the others one more time, just... I hope you delete your memory after this. And
That's not.
slowly goes out. I'm
Before
gonna
you,
use...
before you walk out, the wizard will, wizard in drag, I will specify, walks up to you and it kind of leans down to whisper, and he's just like, "Are there any tools that you will need?"
He like does the the turtle thing when someone gets too close to your neck and like shrivels up a little bit from being too close, and then he just stares at him and just a whip.
A whip.
Mhm.
Just a whip. Anything else?
Nah. Oh, I don't know, a chair.
Understood. Claps hands, and immediately you feel the light weight of a whip land in your hand, as well as the screech of a chair right on the other side of the curtain on stage. Enjoy your time, and you feel a push against your back as you're shoved out into the crowd.
I won't. Okay.
And
well.
so, Zach, you just signal when you want me to play.
Okay. So he looks at the crowd. He is going to turn his back, and he will yell out to the wizard. English hard.
Wizard.
Wizard. He just snaps his fingers into the sky and just says, "Lights off," then back on.
You hear that down the walkway as the lights one after another turn off, encasing the entire place in darkness, and then soon another light turns on right above your head with this beam right down on you as a spotlight.
All right, and then now you can do it. So basically,
They're not low. Oh, there it goes.
just a very sensual dance onto the chair. Got a heel on one, and just kind of whipping his hair around. Pulls away the chair, and then holding out the whip as he's slowly sashaying down the red carpet. Whips towards the audience, but doesn't hit them, but is close enough to kind of make them jolt back a bit. Does that the same to the others. And then as he's walking, he whips again, but very specifically, he will continue to stare at Grotus.
Oh my god.
And
I was
slowly,
hoping all this time.
listen, if I'm not self-indulgent, then what's the point? He slowly walks off, sits down, and then heads off the stage and just kind of leans over the table. So, about that score.
Are you using your blessing?
Yes.
Wait!
Oh boy.
So, if you need a refresher, Heath, as you are the one playing Grotus, let me send that to you.
Yeah, just double check what it is. I know it, but I can't remember the exact wording.
And let me send you one more thing.
You notice. You notice as that happens, Grotus starts kind of like getting that like choke collar of like flush as he starts kind of like dragging his hand across the collar, trying to cool himself off.
A finger up his chin, puts the whip around him, and just, I'm waiting.
Yeah, you're definitely earning those scores. Double digits.
Mhm. Since, we're already breaking rules just a bit, you mind anything higher than a 13? For me.
Well, hold on a minute. I am the one who can score. Why didn't you do this on me?
Looks at him for a second, does an eye roll, and he's so close. He puts up his hand and just uses his middle finger to scratch at his eyebrow for a second, and then looks back at Grotus.
The wizard squints at you, Grotus. He's just like, I'm not allowing you to go over a 10.
Oh, I'm sorry, my hands are tied, but I'd give you double eights if I could.
Do you want them tied? And just kind of puts his hair back and combs through it.
You hear a snap to your side, Sonam, as the wizard snaps his fingers, and amongst the like cheering crowd and like whistling and cheering and everything, you hear you notice one person stand up. It appears to be this probably like 19, 20-year-old man stand up, a human male, as he's just like, put on some clothes! Roll me a charisma save.
Here I go.
What is
Let's
Ayla's
see.
expression right now?
Yeah, how
She's
is she doing?
She's as pink as her hair and covering her face.
Yeah.
Hiding behind her hair.
Yeah.
Here we go. I am ready. I'm ready. Okay, 15.
Hey.
Not the worst.
That's pretty good.
Turns around.
15?
winks at
Okay.
the person.
Alright, yeah, you save. Alright.
Sweet.
As you turn and give a wink towards the heckler, and immediately you see him just sort of fumble and like immediately just sit back down in his seat and go quiet. And roll a performance with advantage.
A
Oh my god.
advantage. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Oof.
Oh god.
Oh no.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's just below average.
It's terrible.
It's below average, dude. You can do worse.
At least it wasn't double natty ones.
Right.
As a note to you, Heath, the blessing is stronger than
Oh yeah, I know that. Yes, I'm
Grotus.
aware. Yeah, we
Yeah.
discussed this eventuality. I didn't think it'd go down this route, but we discussed this eventuality.
Oh, it's
Listen,
going
if
down.
we have a Simon Cowell.
It's going down somewhere, all right. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Mhm.
So, as you're doing all this, Sonam, putting a lot of your attention onto Grotus, you then hear a tear from on the pants that you are currently wearing as you pulled a bit too tightly in one of your sort of leg lifting adventures. And immediately the crowd that had been cheering and wolf whistling starts laughing.
Okay, so looks back at Grotus. Good thing that his face, his skin is already like reddish pink, and just and stabs his chest with one finger, just like okay. And this is the point where you kill me. Just with the axe, I'll just lay down. Kill me right here.
Nikki,
Yeah?
he's charmed. What do I
Oh boy.
Guys, what here? I'll message you.
do? I'm a little past my
He
thing
looks into the curtain, and
I
he
don't know if
just
don't
looks
know if he
away
takes
and
it
ass.
literally because he's literally charmed. I don't know how they play it.
Consider, he might want to cut him down, just not with his axe.
Mm.
Okay, he's like, oh, you don't want me to do that, dearie. But
Looks
if
at
you'd like
Ayla.
to stick rod sometime.
Internally, Sonam is screaming, and there's just like a small twitch to his eye, but he just keeps a smile, just like, I'll think about it. Looks at Ayla, please kill me.
Ella gives you a sympathetic wince, and she's just like, I'm sorry, I'm not really at liberty to. I mean, up until this point, you did rather, it was, yeah, and you see her start writing a score, as she puts a 5.
Uh-huh.
You did your best.
Thanks.
Oh, you lily livered, pink-haired Nazi! A 5? For such a performance! Oh, you're driving me insane! I had to beat you with your own leg off! You...
Please calm down.
Angry Scottish screaming.
It's a 10 if nothing else! I'd give him a 20 if I could! But unfortunately, our great leader here decided 10 is as high as I go, and I must listen to the greatness of him, despite this great display of sheer sex and magnitude! Oh, no!
So no, he's just like not even seductively leaning over the table anymore. He's just one elbow down, one elbow on the table, and his hand in his palm, as if he just ripped his pants in front of like a bunch of people.
I like to think that Loic had just gotten finished with his baking and walked over to see what anybody else may have been looking at, sees Hole, and just turns around and walks back.
Hello.
I got one more phrase for Grotus. And if you knew anything, you'd realize those pants tear, because it can't contain such a luscious booty.
So they're just like
Into the
looks
honest
back, it's just
D&D
like, huh.
session.
you would hear like Morgana just kind of like look curiously and just kind of say, he's kind of right, he does have quite the shape, and she's like measuring and
Stop talking about it! Stop talking about
I
it!
just want to say, the way Yumi has his rabbit ears pulled down, it's like crossed over his eyes. He's just staring. Just can't do it.
The wizard who at first had his like arms crossed looking like a pouting individual is just like, I was going to give you a 1 for not attempting that on me, but for the karma I'll give you a 5, and he'll write a 5 and hold it up for you.
25.
Thanks, buddy. 25. And
That's
I
20 period, guys. It's a 5, a 5, and a 10.
Oh right, I thought that the fucking intimidation worked. on
Okay,
Elo.
intimidated. I
Also,
don't know.
Also, keeping track, just put a comma and then the next second score.
Yeah, that's what I was doing actually. So there we go. Oh, I'll tally up at the end.
Is Worm still angrily looking onward? What's happening?
what is a worm doing?
Worm has no idea what he's gonna do for a talent part, so
That's fair.
he's just gonna be sitting crisscross applesauce on the ground, staring very angrily at the wood floor, scratching his very thick head.
Sodium is going to mend his poor pants that apparently cannot contain his giant ass, and is going to walk back just more normally this time, and just walks by the curtain, is passing by the others, so you will delete that from your memory.
Do I really have to?
I would appreciate if you do. And just starts taking off the leather stuff so he can put on his regular things. He doesn't even care that he's getting naked at this point.
Looks facing
Puts his
a
own
wall. Looks facing a wall like a religious kid in trouble.
Oh no, I saw someone's shoulder.
Basically.
I've seen it in the mirror before, but it looks really good.
He just looks back. Good to know. Thanks. Puts on shirt. And then just sits next to Worm, joins him in crisscross applesauce, looking at the floor, not in concentration, but, just a little bit of dissociation.
As you're back there, you hear footsteps going up the catwalk, and Grodus' head is sort of peeking in through the back
Oh my
curtains. And just
God.
as it looks like he's about to say something, out of nowhere, these ropes immediately shoot out, wrap around his torso, and drag him back to the judge table.
Oh boy.
Just stares, about to open his mouth and say something, and then just, okay. Goes back to staring at the floor.
Yumi just looks back and forth between the things, just like, I don't want to know.
Thank you for that, Zaku. That was fun just to have Grodus play like that.
Thank you for bringing Grodus, first of all. And second of all, making him the Simon Cowell. This was all according to Keikaku.
It's all according to something.
It's according to my gutter brain.
This
is-
This is all just one big fan fiction. This entire fucking campaign, I love it.
Literally what we designed. it to be,
Morgana! Morgana, the wizard will walk up to you with a polite smile on his face as he just says, "Will you be in need of anything?"
Dim the lights, please.
Understood. Clap, clap of the hands as the lights, the spotlight that had been shined down and following Sonam disappears, and now there's just a light dimming across the catwalk, and I'll have the talent show music going.
Wait, before the wizard goes away, Loic will call out to him first.
Hmm?
You wouldn't happen to have any way of, I don't know, multiplying food or anything? I want the entire audience to get some, but I'm not entirely sure exactly how I'm going to be doing that.
That is simple enough. If you just need a copy of something that you've made, I could do that.
Good to know. That's all. And he just walks
Alright.
back and bores over this sheet of what vaguely looks like donuts.
Got it. Alright, Morgana.
Okay, so she kind of steps out. Are the lights dimmed?
Yes.
Okay. As she does so, she starts to she'll start with her hands, and she'll cast Shocking Grasp, and she starts to weave them together, and starts using prestidigitation to kind of start to form lines and start to make shapes. And she'll start to do like a magic electricity, like a neon light show with her hands, and start crafting like animals, various images of it, kind of like a picture show type neon type thing, as she's kind of weaving the light together.
You hear a number of sort of intrigued noises from the audience as they see this number of shapes begin to weave and dance into the air that you create. People are locked in and interested in what you are doing currently.
And then she will start to kind of make them more grand and slowly increase the size, making them animated, making them kind of move, sending more small sparks kind of after them.
Okay. As you make this illusion of yours sort of, not illusion, this sort of magic show of yours grander, telling a story through the shapes that you portray in front of the audience, you hear a movement of a chair, someone getting up, as this same young man voice from the previous display just shouts out, she's like, "I'm not interested in a magic show! God!" Roll me a charisma save.
Who invited him?
Save?
Yes.
Okay.
Who did, Zaki?
Wow.
23. All right. So you just completely brush aside whatever this nobody is saying, continuing on. Roll me Arcana.
Oh God.
13. Okay. You continue on with your sort of light show of magic that you've sort of created. And at first the audience is pretty absorbed in it, but eventually they do seem to kind of feel it's a little repetitive now, as some sort of start talking to their side members, and then others are still sort of intrigued by what you're doing. Nothing amazing, nothing terrible, but that's what you've got going currently.
Bucket at the end, she will launch through and kind of create like this dragon that kind of like kind of forming the pieces as she kind of animates it and placing the lights in the air, and kind of form like this kind of light dragon type thing as she fires a fireball at it with electricity. Oh well, not fireball, but it's an electric fireball at it.
So is this like up into the air, or?
Up into the creature in that she like created this. It's kind of like diving and animating throughout the area.
Promare.
Okay, roll me another Arcana.
Oh my God.
Okay. So you shoot this shocking blast into the sky towards this dragon that you had created, making you sort of knock off a chunk of it, but you don't quite get the direct hit that you were looking for to sort of make everything scatter down and sparkle over the crowd. So you get a couple of like polite claps from the audience. Some of them still seem to be. You managed to get the attention of those who had gone distracted and kind of look up at what you did. It's an interesting show. Nothing amazing, but interesting. And you see the judges sort of talking amongst themselves as the wizard turns. The two judges turn to Grotus first.
The display was competent enough with the juggling the display of lights and shows, and the dragon on top with the lightning bolt was something, but I think you fringed the hair of a few people, so I'm gonna have to dock you for it. 3 points!
Oh,
Wrinkles her nose. Kind of stares at him before her eyes kind of shift over towards Ayla.
Ayla gives you a small little smile. She's just like, it was rather nice. Definitely a fun little show. Though I suppose in terms of, fairness, and you see her write down a number and hold up a 7. Wizard.
looks
Okay.
a bit more pleased, and then looks at the wizard, and then just kind of raises an eyebrow.
Wizard takes out
Expectantly.
and dikes.
And then just okay.
Oh,
Does that
no.
okay? Can my blessing apply to that?
It's a D10.
I know. I'm just wondering if my blessing can apply to that, considering.
No.
Okay. Considering it's like him rolling randomly, and it's. I just wanted to make sure.
That's all good. It's all good. The wizard kind of looks down at the number, then looks at you. He's just like, "Well, Chance says that was absolutely terrible. Worst thing I've ever seen. 1." He holds up a 1.
She flicks him off and then walks off.
Worst thing they've ever seen? Did they not watch Sonam perform earlier?
I did not take offense to that at all.
Not the dance. The dance was fine. It was the hot dog thing that was.
Hot dog thing.
Yeah, I don't take offense to that at all. Also, as Morgana's walking by, because someone saw her flick off the wizard, he just lifts his hand up for a high five.
She'll give him a small high five, even though she seems minorly pissed off.
Good enough.
Does he get like minorly static shocked?
Yes. Which will probably knock him off.
He gets like the tiniest little tap, and then suddenly you guys see him fall over again.
He's got 1 point of damage. That's right. Ah!
Loic runs over and puts
Oh, God.
another save.
You need me to do that?
Yumi's like halfway frozen into doing like a cure wounds, but then like 1 hit point. He's just like, oh, I guess it's fine.
You just.
From above you, then here. Next up is Loic.
Yumi's just gonna
Oh,
bend
go
down
get
and
him.
do it anyways.
Gives him a
Fine.
pat.
No, so basically. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. You should heal.
Yeah, they don't have your casting
9.
modifier on there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have the casting modifier. Should be 9. Sorry.
Oh, good.
I'll fix that for you.
Thank
But
you.
so I'm thinking. I'm thinking because like nah. So basically, I like the dichotomy between like the like medieval oven, but like him basically wearing like pants and jeans like with a green shirt and just like an apron and like oven mitts and whatnot. He was thinking about baking and it's like, oh, I guess these are like things I could see kind of how they work, and they just in fact did very well. So he wishes he could keep them if it weren't for the fact that Morgana was previously declined at keeping any of the clothes, but that's fine. That's okay. And Loic is going to grab the baking sheet that he had, and he's going to take the 9 donuts that he was capable of creating, hoping and praying that the wizard will be able to fucking replicate these.
All right. You see the wizard sort of look at your finished dish and clap his hands, and one after another, you see a copy of the Wizard in Drag take some.
Actually, here, Nikki,
one-
can I ask you something?
Sure.
The suspense. While you're typing, I should grab a snack. Maybe later.
Is he gonna request that from the wizard?
Yes.
Understood.
What does this mean?
The wizard kind of gives you an odd look, but shrugs like, okay. As one by one copies of the Wizard in Drag takes a number of these. You said donuts, were they?
Yeah.
Okay, takes the donuts out to the crowd to hand each and every one of them one. Roll me the cooking thing.
Little cooking thing.
I don't even remember what it was.
Do you have proficiency?
Wouldn't
I
it
do
just be
not.
chef's tools? Oh.
I do not.
So it's the D10 plus Dex modifier, or D20 plus Dex modifier.
All right. So nothing.
God.
Got it. That's wonderful.
Oh no.
God.
It's not even cooked all the way, it's just dough.
Wait,
partway
that's
through.
a nat one. Don't forget that affects you, Zaku.
Oh no.
Wait, what?
How does that affect me?
Your curse.
Oh, wait.
Other
hold on.
people's?
You have a new curse, remember? You have a second one?
Oh boy.
Oh,
What
New
happens?
curse. Wait, how does that affect me?
There was a
Here.
nat one rolled.
When anyone
When everybody rolls
Oh,
a nat one?
that's right. Yeah, shit. Okay. I forgot about that. So, just so you guys know, for every nat one that you guys
Oh, no,
have
you
rolled-
can't share, you can't share.
Can't share,
Ah,
Zaku. You just
shit.
gotta do it.
What
Okay.
happens?
So, yeah.
No, hold on. Let me first say the effects of what this nat one does, and then you could do your thing.
Okay.
As one by one, everyone is given their donut to take a bite into, followed by each bite that's taken, the donut begins to just scream out in pain, as requested. And with how badly these donuts were made, blood starts oozing out magically, real blood. And you immediately just hear the audience start spitting it out and vomiting onto the floor.
Oh,
Were we given
So-
donuts in the back?
no.
No.
Oh, this sounds like a delicious donut for Worm.
Worm has to go out and collect all the remnants.
Well, to be completely honest with how haphazard the baking process is, here I'll roll a D2, and if it's a 1, then there was left. There it is.
oh no.
There were like 2 that were dropped on the floor.
Then when Worm hears the donuts screaming and bleeding, he'll just pick them up off the ground and eat them like they are 2 very delectable donuts.
Roll me a con save.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh.
Cons save.
Not bad.
That was 16. That was on an.
What if
Sorry.
the scream's like eerily similar to the fuzzball scream?
You also hear the scream as well as the coppery taste of blood on your tongue, Worm, as you take a bite, and you're like, compared to everything else you've eaten, then it's not too bad. You managed to stomach it.
Yubi just looks at Worm in fear.
Meanwhile, on the side, as all of this is happening, you guys see Sonam slowly start snickering and then just completely bursts out laughing. And as soon as the second nat one was rolled, he falls over and is laughing hard enough where he's having a hard time breathing.
Loic is just staring at these, like, incidents, so to speak. Like, he was pretty fucking convinced that the blood that was in them was actually grape jelly. And
Oh,
he's
no.
just really confused.
Seeing all this, like, Ayla, the judge, looks absolutely horrified.
Oh no,
Grodus?
Ayla's worst
Oh, no.
nightmare.
You know what? And the worst part too is that I think I have a reasoning as to why this happened, even though he's not aware. I like to think because he was constantly like chopping between this, like, I'm a knight, I don't do any of this shit. He's like thinking about combat, like
Oh,
going
no.
to combat while doing these donuts.
Right.
So there's just
The donuts of your enemies.
Blood and screams of my enemies. The donuts of my enemies.
they were like
Grotus?
Grotus grabs after eating the donut and the scream and the blood, and he just kind of wipes the blood from his mouth and just looks up with this dark glare in his eye with a, I happen to be a cook. And, I'm all for experimentation, but this was the worst shite I have ever eaten in my life. Goblin crap tastes better than this, and I know I had to eat it once. This is by far the worst tasting thing ever. You should be ashamed. And if I had my way, I'd take my hatchet and put it between your eyes. You great shite. And he holds up a 0.
Someone in the back just like,
It seems like an undeserved 0 as Worm starts eating the second donut.
Logan has his mouth agape watching. Like he looks frozen in time. Like,
just the wind blowing through him. Oh man.
Ayla is covering her mouth and gripping the table hard enough to cause splinters, as you see her eyes flashing this bright red color, and immediately you see her begin to start leaping over the desk, but just fangs bearing from her mouth, and immediately the wizard is like, oh, claps his hands really quick, and rope, similarly to Grotus, wraps around her form, dragging her back to the chair, and you just hear her screeching out in this vampiric rage as she is thrashing, and the wizard reaches over to her. No, at the food that she just bit into that was real blood. As you see the wizard reach over to her judgment card, write something down, and holds up a 0.
This is like the same energy as the slapstick hook that gets you by the neck and then you're pulled away off stage.
basically.
The wizard, however, just seeing all this, is just like, that was actually rather funny, and you see him write a 7.
Like this looks so fucking disturbed. And with the 7, he just nods with his mouth still agape and just starts walking back into the curtain.
Yumi's sort of shepherds him in and just puts his hand on his back he doesn't know what to say, but it probably wasn't supposed to go like that.
You just hear Loic in the most bewildered voice. It was supposed to be jelly.
I believe so.
He's not even looking at you, he's just staring off into space.
I have this image that when you say it was supposed to be jelly, Worm's just why would you want to ruin a perfectly good donut?
I was trying to think of something funny to say in the moment. I couldn't fucking think of anything.
It's okay, he's got your back.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah, I'll just give him a bewildered look and then just squeeze the rest of whatever's left in that second donut into my mouth and then just...
Like it's a pressure.
Loic has no way of conveying this, but he's happy at least one person enjoyed it.
It's like a double treat for Worm because 1, your score was so low. And 2, he got a snack.
He's a true winner here.
Oh.
Loic's
From
just
above,
gonna-
From above, you hear the voice speak out and just say, Yumi, you are up next once the cleanup crew is finished!
Okay.
Loic's just gonna take off the apron, take off the mittens, and fucking ball them up and just throw them into the area that oddly looks like a void in the distance.
It's okay. You can do it next time.
Lo just raises a hand.
Okay.
It's just,
Yeah,
To the
I'll
best of
go.
us.
you don't have to lie. It's fine.
All right, Yumi, do you need anything from the wizard?
He will ask for multiple basins of water lining the catwalk.
Wizard
I don't
looks
know
a
why,
little.
but
Go ahead.
Huh?
I was gonna say I don't know why, but my first thought was, is he gonna waterboard himself?
Yeah, of course. What other option is there?
Maybe
but to
Sonam
waterboard
would.
myself?
Maybe
Yeah.
Sonam would.
Look, if Yumi
Yeah.
goes out there and gets a lot of points for waterboarding himself, I can win that competition because I can hold my breath for 15 minutes.
That's fair.
Yumi just goes down the line of water basin and just dunks his head in. It's fine.
All right, the wizard gives you sort of a curious look, but does as asked, and you see a number of buckets appear suddenly over the catwalk and pour water down.
Oh, I meant basins. Like,
Ew!
okay. I mean,
I will
it's
fix
fine
that.
if they're.
I will
It's
fix
fine
that.
if
For
they're
you.
pouring down. It's okay. No, it's fine. This is fine.
Oh, all right. I'll leave it then.
Actually, no. I just was saying it was fine. You could please make it so that they're just there. I'd appreciate it.
You see the wizard roll his eyes and clap his hands to fix it, giving you a number of basins of water
I
down the
know
walkway.
that makes it worse, but it's just in my nature.
Wait, what? What happened? Sorry, was too busy learning that apparently Komodo dragons perform really well.
He wanted a water basin, but then gave some like another type of water, and it's like, no, it's okay. No, actually, no, please. Can you give me the actual thing?
Oh my god.
All right, Yumi.
Okay. Yumi's just gonna be upset for a second that he did that. And he'll do a little prayer real quick. He cast guidance on himself. And he will walk out. He's going to be using shape water basically to make water spouts come out of the basins like they're fountains. And then at the very end, he's going to basically try to do the Bellagio fountain water show.
I don't know what that is, but a water show, is it?
Yeah, this is basically just a fountain show. So
Yeah.
like the Bellagio fountain show is just like the spouts come up to like music and stuff, and there's like
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty neat. I've seen those. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, that's it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. He's just going to try to do that to
Whoosh.
the music.
All right, as you're doing that, once again, the young gentleman who had been busy vomiting for a bit, now feeling better enough to start returning to what he was doing,
Being a
immediately
bitch.
shouts out, and she's like, "That's it! Water? Lame!" Roll me charisma save.
Yumi just whispers, "Please be nice to me."
Jeez.
Okay. You may, even though you're feeling a little self-conscious, you decide to just ignore him. As you continue with your show, roll me Arcana check.
Oh,
That guy
Good.
hasn't succeeded yet, has he?
Nope.
not yet.
Can you tell us what he's supposed to do after if he doesn't?
Have to check with Worm first.
Still has worm.
What's that, Cox?
Oh, I said he still has worm to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one by one, you bring up the fountains of water in times with the music, making them occasionally sort of clash together and then shape, swirling around one another and then shooting back down into the floor and then back up again, making quite a rather impressive show. You get a number of, like, interesting, like, oohs and ahs as people are fascinated by the show that you're putting on, as well as some enthused claps from the audience as well. Even the one who had kind of heckled you at first, eventually kind of squints and then, like, slowly sits down to watch, kind of crossing his arms and looking like, this is actually really good, but I'm not going to show you that I'm enjoying myself.
Give me a satisfaction.
Yes.
Yes.
And, with quite the performance that you've put on, the judges look rather impressed themselves. First looking towards Grotus.
Grotus kind of grunts like, well, I have to admit, that was the best display of water dancing I've ever seen. The jets and the streams really show that you understand the way of nature and the greatness and beauty of water. And I have to admit, very well done. 7 points.
Oh,
Aww.
Ayla is still thrashing currently in her seat and hissing like a vampire.
Yumi
And-
just sort of flinches away from that. By the way, it's just like I don't know if I should.
The wizard, kind of noticing this, is just like, I've got it for you, dear, no worries, and takes her sheet to write down a number as he holds up a 10 for her.
Oh, good. Great.
And the wizard himself, let's see.
Yumi's gonna like. Does she need help?
Oh, she's fine. This is just a thing she does. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
You just hear her go.
Okay.
As the wizard writes down a 5 for himself, he's just like, it's alright. Bit mundane and uninteresting, but it's alright. So 5.
Great. Thanks. I'm gonna go back now. Yep. Just makes his way nervously back. Still looking back at Ayla and then just going back behind the curtain. Very, very concerned.
Nervously shuffle into the back. Let me look at the points.
Anymore.
Yumi's way ahead.
He's
Yumi's cheating.
Yumi cheated with his dead drop. It was too powerful.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So I don't see the updated points on here.
What, you don't?
No,
Points.
is you. Let me refresh.
I put Yumi's points in.
Let me refresh real quick. Point. Okay, there we go. I just had to refresh. Is the music still going?
Yeah.
It's not going for me. What the?
I
play.
don't hear it,
Okay.
but
There we
I
go.
just assumed it was there.
Now it's going.
Oh,
I just realized on that picture of the fountain I shared, somebody like photo edited like fish on top of it.
oh yeah, they did.
Just tossed some fish into the fucking air.
Oh,
Oh
Sharknado.
my god.
I see
Oh,
why.
is that what that is?
How did
I not
see that story?
Yeah, so Yumi's quite ahead. Yeah, so the voice bellowing out will just say, "So Yumi holds on to the first place position. Worm, can you bump yourself back to first place?"
Worm will turn to Blonde Lady and ask if Blonde Lady can you make floor like metal.
Yes, that would be.
Oh.
Wait, you mean Wizard and Drag?
yeah, Blonde Lady, Wizard and I was Morgana also blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I like that. I'll turn to Morgana first because Worm doesn't recognize the difference between the two of them.
Oh my god.
All humans look alike.
No, why are you asking me?
You said anything we requested?
You mean him? I don't look like what?
The worst part.
So offended.
I'm not the wizard.
Worm's apologies. With the wizards at the table.
Sorry, lady wizard. Lady. Never mind.
Master Lady, will you make the floor like metal?
That would be no problem. Here you go. Clap, clap. And the floor right outside the curtains turns into a metal flooring for you.
Okay. Worm's gonna breathe. And he's gonna step out into the curtain. He's gonna do his intro for his fights, his walkout that he normally does. He's gonna walk out like people are already cheering.
Okay.
taking it in, and then he will take his axe, and he will begin to basically flare it down the right. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's doing a WWE entrance.
Yeah.
100%. That is exactly it. Worm is going to begin to spin his axe, similar to his staff, and he just hit it on the ground, throwing sparks into the air as he makes his way down the little catwalk here. About 40 feet from the inn, he's going to start running, still spinning his axe, throwing sparks everywhere, and leap into the air and attempt to crush the table everybody's sitting at with his axe.
Okay, as you leap into the air at the end, the individual stands up and is just like, boom, more lasers, I hate lasers, it's just safe.
Besties.
This isn't gonna go good.
Oh my god.
Oh
By the worst heckle ever.
As
The
you
one who
leap
wants it the most.
As you leap into the air, you think to yourself, like, well, why lizard's bad? You're a great lizard, and I need you to roll me an attack with disadvantage.
Am I attacking him?
The table.
Or the table.
The table, you said. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was about to say Jesus. All right. Oh fuck! Oh, I forgot my sheets over here.
You should have asked to battle the heckler.
Well, depending on what was gonna happen, like if the heckler messed Worm up, he's gonna go over there and try to attack him.
Oh my god.
No.
Okay.
Hey.
Alright, despite kind of feeling a little thrown off by this individual, you still manage to land and crack, your axe down on the table. You know what? Just for a little bit of extra flavor, actually. 1 second. Roll me a... You know what? Just for shits and giggles, roll me just a straight intelligence check.
Oh my god.
This
Oh,
is
no.
straight intelligence.
Yes.
No other modifiers or anything like that.
No?
5.
As you bring the axe down on the center of the table, your axe also cleaves directly through the red button, and I need everyone to roll me a 3d8.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh boy, Hallie.
I'm ready to pass out again.
Oh Jesus. /R 3D8.
Oh yeah, I'm down again.
God damn it.
You guys just hear a thud one more time.
Good thing Grotus can't see what just happened.
Oh no,
Your
more
laughter just cuts off Sonam.
laughter comedy too hard.
I do want to point out one more thing. That's not the end of Worm's routine. He is, because
no.
it's one of his few talents, he is just going to start holding his breath.
He's just gonna hold his breath.
He's not even gonna say anything. He's just doing it. They won't even know.
They won't know. Just staring,
Especially
can't talk
since,
to them.
because I'm assuming the amount of time that he's out here, he's not going to turn blue or look red in the face because he can hold his breath for 15 minutes.
Can I tell that Worm is holding his breath? I just want to know.
It's hard to tell from this distance. I will say, so one by one, each of you feel a jolting shock of electricity through your body and also hear the very abrupt cut of Sonam's laughter as he plummets to the ground. As you all get shocked by a bolt of electricity, and hear the crash of a table out front. Aelin and Grotus look rather surprised as to what happened, but the wizard is full-on off of his chair laughing, because he knows what happened just then. And as he's like kind of catching himself, clutching his stomach to get up and sees you holding your breath, he immediately moves onto his hands and knees and is just laughing even harder now.
Not moving. Hand on axe through table, holding breath very stoically.
What a champ.
Okay, despite taking 20 damage, she remains and seems fine.
Seems fine.
Yumi's just like, wow, Morgana didn't take any damage. Wow. He's like doubled over. It's not a good time.
So Worm, you're just standing there holding your breath. Grodus, roll me an insight. Oh,
So Nim's
God.
taking death saves.
Oh my god.
So you want? Sorry.
Oh
did you
shit, that's
wrote
right.
it?
Yeah, insight to see if he understands that he's holding his breath.
Oh, okay. Well,
GM, use the ref sheet and the GM layer.
no, I know. I remember Grotus' stats. I'll just GM a D20.
I'm back. Does Loic need to feed Sonam more healing?
Yeah.
Oh, I need you to. Did you roll your damage?
Yeah,
I
he
did
would.
not.
Nikki. He would definitely notice he's holding his breath.
Okay.
Why is everyone taking damage?
So to quick fill in, Loic, Worm just cracked his axe down on the table, hit the red button, and everyone got zapped. So I need you to roll me a 3d8.
God.
Dude, I want to say how
Okay.
impressive this is. I killed 2 people in a different room.
I'm just gonna. Nah, I'm just gonna take it like a champ. It's fine. It's fine.
Also, while this is happening, Sonam, before Grodus makes his commentary, roll me a death save, since no one's healed you yet.
Yep, I'm just. This is
Oh,
fine. This
wait,
is exactly what he wanted.
literally, I was about to do that. What do you mean?
It's his first check, you can still do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
Loic's-
fine.
A nat one.
Loic's
can't
just gonna
kill
feel
him.
the fucking shock and just kind of move over towards Sonam and another boop.
Boop. How do you do death save again? Oh,
Just
God,
roll a
I think it's
D20.
Attack.
Oh, no.
A failure.
Oh, that's a fail.
Little blood just
Well,
coughs
you're
up.
healed now for 1 health point.
Yay! I'm not dead. You guys just hear him just cough against it. Why did you wake
Massive
me up?
achievement.
So, Grodus, your commentary.
Okay, I will go. Grodus kind of nods his head in approval, looking at the splintered table and the red button. Not sure what the electricity spark from his neck was, but thought that was very impressive. As Grodus goes, "Well, I have to admit, I admire a man who knows how to wield an axe. You remind me of my dad. He was a great man with an axe, able to split wood like that. And I have to admit, the leap at the top there, the arc was just impressive. I have to say, your rippling muscles do remind me much of the great warriors of old. And I have to say, all things considered, well done. 7 points.
Still
Also, holding your breath, very nice. Very nice touch. I have to admit, not many people can do that.
Still holding his breath.
Since Ayla is still out of commission, the wizard will take her. You see him like in wheezing in pain as he crawls up back onto lifting himself back up on the broken table to grab her thing, and you see him write a 10 for her to hold it out to you, Worm, and then you see him still laughing really hard, take out 2 die to chuck onto the table. D10.
Oh,
Jesus, this is gonna be
shit.
Worm's.
Oh.
Whoa.
Still, that's above what you
11.
could get. So 21, 28.
Yeah, you see him write a very shaky 11 and hold it up for you. And he's just like, you, I am so glad I took you. Oh god, that is so funny. Oh, you are wonderful. It hurts to breathe. You see him kind of kill over.
Worm will give a very polite bow, as he is very accustomed to doing, and as he walks back, he will give whoever's shouting dirty things out a very nasty look.
You're next.
Roll me an intimidation check. Okay. You see the guy just sort of kind of hunch his shoulders and go like give you sort of like a little sneer, curl of the nostril before looking away.
Okay. Real quick, I have a question on that. Can I change my intimidation from charisma to strength for future rolls?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, that would make sense. So yes. Yes, we can take a break now between now and the last round.
Oh, there's a third round.
Mhm.
Last round.
You'll love the third round, trust me.
I'm excited.
Is it gonna be a battle royale?
That'd be funny. I'm sure Worm would just
That's
love that.
That's the tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker, fight to the
Very
death.
much like that. Everybody's so low health now. For most people.
Yeah, Worm just
It's
literally
actually a-
wiped out his competition with that.
He's thinking
It's a
10
dance
steps
battle now.
ahead.
I wish he was perceptive enough to realize that he killed people in the back room at the same time, because he would have brought that up to the judge's table. Done that whole routine and just be like, I just killed 2 other people in a different room, or another person.
Without even touching them. Look, mono hands.
Boy.
Oh god, I need my inhaler. I'm laughing too much.
Oh,
Also, I added things to the art channel before I get snacks.
please be nice to me.
Oh my god.
It only took the 500 pieces of clothing later. Okay, now I get snacks. BRB.
How many times am I gonna mute myself before I realize that I'm muted? Ugh.
The classic.
I have the opposite problem where I'll leave myself unmuted and then just be talking
Oh no.
to like my kid or my wife or myself and not even realize it.
F. Let's see.
Okay, drugs are in my lungs. Whew.
Nice.
Great inhaler. There we go. Hope you guys are enjoying the session so far.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, it's so
Fucking
stupid.
hilarious.
Wow, it's good. It's
No, you're not. You set out to make it this. You wear it with pride if you can. God.
I feel so bad for Loic. Tried so
Hey.
hard.
It's funny because there's like a lack of context, but he was like trying to recreate like his fucking mother's recipe, and this shit happened.
Oh no, I'm so sad.
It was truly magical, to say the
Deeply
least.
traumatizing.
That's another word for it.
Yeah.
Also, I promise the session will have serious moments. It's just gonna start out very stupid first.
Oh no, I'm sure. Don't worry. Like this shit. It's been like what the fuck? wait. What happened when Worm failed the charisma save?
Oh, how to
Well,
make
you
us roll
had
with
to-
disadvantage. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Oh. Me looking at these scores so far. Let's see. We didn't put down Worms. Crap, what did
Got a
Worm have?
7, a 10, and an 11.
11.
7, 10, 11. Oh no, Heath did put it, it just didn't save. That's weird. There we go, okay. So, let me see. Calculator. Who is currently ahead between these two?
Alright, I'm back.
Your musical is.
So, Worm has a 52. Yumi has a 49. So, Worm's ahead again.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Damn.
By just a couple
Fall
points.
Straight to fucking hell after.
Worm's
might
cocky
add right
demeanor
now.
has definitely returned.
What's everyone else's
Oh
point?
God.
Everyone else, Sonam has
What, like 3 points?
Oh my God.
33.
Disrespectful.
Morgana has 36. Loic has oh god,
Don't laugh!
29. Loic's in last place.
I'm going to pretend not to hear it.
You let Sonam's hot dog performance get ahead of you.
Because the hot dogs don't bleed!
They
Okay.
do too.
They have ketchup on them. That's close enough.
Everything
It was
bleeds if you
not.
hit it hard enough.
Not Scoots. You don't understand my pain.
So, before we get back into it, my other option for like the talent I was gonna do was if they gave me like a dead animal, I was gonna make weapons for everybody in the
Oh my
audience.
Oh my god.
Love that.
Just like, give me 1 second. I was just
Now that's straight up interesting.
Dylan,
Makes the audience.
if you had left it at give me someone to battle, it was gonna be 2 mammoths.
No, that's how fucking
Oh.
Grimson.
That's how we died last time.
No.
Just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, I
put this
heard
on
about
us.
that.
It was great.
I think Grimson could have taken 1 mammoth.
1 mammoth, the keyword.
But he got
Approximately
stampeded
one
by a herd of mammoths.
Oof.
I'm still mad that Klaus got impaled just because of that incident.
It was exciting. Grimson's never seen a mammoth before.
So he had to kill him
Klaus has
immediately.
never been
Gotta kill
impaled before.
It's a new experience for everybody all around.
You're not wrong there.
I'm having fun.
Is there a way to change this intimidation on the Rolls-20 sheets or to charisma? Or do I have to do all that manual? Or to strength?
I think you can. Hold on.
I'm looking at all the settings. I'm trying to figure out. Where?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's fine. I'll just add my strength to it.
Sorry, this is so much fun.
Hey, back.
Welcome back.
Back.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't think there is, unfortunately.
You said that didn't save?
Hmm?
You said my score sheet didn't save?
No, I just had to save it and then reopen it for some reason.
I think you
What,
have.
Nick?
Yeah, I think you have to close it, Nikki,
Yeah.
because otherwise it won't update for you if you have it open.
But you know
Alright.
where you can change your skill scores?
I swear to God,
Don't.
I will fight you.
Where?
After you where? Yeah.
I will get a ticket to Australia. Watch me.
Can you, Nikki? Can you really?
Do you want to fight all the
Before the-
dangerous animals here?
What you don't know is
Try
that
to stick the drop stairs
Nikki-
after you, Nikki.
Nikki is a dangerous animal, okay?
Correct response.
I did hear that she wanted to be a cockroach reincarnated, so.
Yeah,
They, and yeah. Wait, cockroach? Wait, where did that come from?
I said they're hard to kill, and I said goals.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so are fucking, like, elephants. Come on!
Cockroaches can go without a head for a while. I mean, that's metal.
Fucking chickens! What's the point?
They can also survive nuclear radiation better than a lot of things.
Yeah.
And with the way the world's going, that might be useful.
Don't question me.
Look at that Twinkie.
Dude,
You know what?
It's unwinnable. You know this.
I'm gonna let you have it. I'm going to take what little control I have.
Mhm.
Alright, so with everyone back, we shall return as the speaker speaks up and is just like, now, as we find that Worm has taken first place, thus bumping Yumi down to second place. And Morgana? Yeah. Morgana into third! We shall now move on to the final round. Hopefully there will be no need for a tiebreaker, unless, and then you hear a bunch of woo! As, the voice just then says, now, contestants, if you do not mind, step on out to the front of the catwalk in front of the judges for the question portion.
Fuck, you kidding me?
God.
Someone trying to drag himself up. He's just like army crawling across the carpet.
You better be
gonna
like personal
help him out.
existential questions and not.
Thank you.
He's just gonna reach down and help him up a little bit.
Leans on him, but also is just grumbling to himself the entire time, just like fucking Miss America.
Miss America.
I do believe in world peace.
God, that's actually funny.
Alright, so, here, you guys can drag your tokens down, please, to the end of the catwalk.
He just whispers
Worm
to
does
some
make
of them,
sure to
"What's
bow to
America?"
Master Wizard.
It's
Man, this totally reminds me of
something-
Ren and Stimpy right
Well,
now.
I'm just gonna just like be behind everyone.
in shame.
Yes.
So we
So
need a new
looks-
initiative roll, Nikki?
yeah.
No, we'll just do it in the order that they decide to stand in.
All three stand side by side, making it now.
Well,
They
you
stand
mean
in a
helping
T
Shonen
shape.
stand, so they have to be next to each other, I think.
17.
We'll figure out
Don't
left
be
to right.
afraid.
We'll figure out left to right if you guys want to do that instead.
Okay.
I think Worm's going first.
Yeah, so Worm's going first. Alright, so, Worm, as you stand up ahead, you see the wizard is currently in the middle of muttering something under his breath and waving his fingertips out in front, next to Ayla. You see this odd look glaze come to her eyes, and then the red fade back to this light blue color. As she seems to kind of be out of it for a second and then snaps to attention, kind of shaking her head and looking around confused. As the weather is just like, okay, that's better. We don't want our judge out for the last portion after all. And Ayla's just like, I guess, what, okay, clearly doesn't know what's happening, but is gonna go along with it, because why not,
What
I guess.
good slaves do.
What's that?
I said, because that's what good slaves do.
Are they also under control? Do they have collars around them too?
Roll me an insight.
Okay. Where's my sheet? Okay, insight check. Boop. What did I get? 9.
9.
He's too like, you know,
You're in too much pain.
damaged. Too much pain to really see.
Alright, Dylan, Worm, as you are first, roll me a d6.
Oh, man.
Like a D6, look a D6.
I'm feeling so fly.
Oh God, this is the best one for you.
Alright, so you see the wizard hold out a small slip of paper out to Grotus to read.
Grotus takes the paper, looks down at it, squints hard, then he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a pair of spectacles, puts them on. Okay, here we go. So, Mr. Worm, you walk in on the love of your life, sleeping with another person. What do you do?
Well, I would first. One would first find Master and ask Master's permission to slaughter everyone.
Give me awfully face palms.
Grotus looks up from the question, looks up at Worm, starts rubbing his chin. You know, I have to admit, Manos mixed with utter chaos and violence is rather charming. I'm gonna give you gonna give you 7 points for that question.
Oh my god.
Damn straight.
Ayla looks horrified. And she's just like, oh, why would you want to kill both of them? I mean, yes, it's terrible that they hurt your feelings that way, but I mean, you don't have to kill them. I'm sorry, I can't let that one go. And you see her write a 1.
Not even a 0, it's a 1. No, she's too nice to do a 0. Never mind.
Yeah.
Warren's gonna wait for her to write the 0 afterwards, and then just look disheartened when it never comes.
The wizard kind of nods his head thoughtfully as he's just like, ask a master to slaughter all of them. I mean, there's many issues, morality-wise with that, but it is an interesting answer, very you. So, I'll give it a 5, and you see him write a 5 and hold it up.
13 is an awful score.
Alright, back of the line. Next.
Bows and goes back to the line.
So either Sonam or Yumi.
I think Yumi just like helps Sonam to the front and then takes like a step back because he just assumes Sonam is going ahead of him unless Sonam says anything.
He gets pushed up and then he falls over and just like
He wouldn't have
and
done
he just kind
that.
of half sits up.
He would have
he's
made
about-
sure that he wouldn't fall.
Oh, catch him! Just he gets caught and just like balances himself. His tail is like half like wrapped around Yumi's leg in hopes that will be some of balance.
Yumi's just gonna stay there with him to help him stay.
Just give me the question already so I can. I don't know. Just give me the fucking question.
Wait, a D5.
Let's see. No, it's not on here, so I gotta do it manually. 1d5. 4.
4.
Oh my god! What is with the numbers for this?
Oh no, I'm
This is
afraid.
another perfect one for you. No, this is fucking amazing.
So you see the wizard like kind of hold out these cards out in his hand, just kind of without the questions facing him. He just randomly plucks one out, looks it over, snickers, and holds it out to Grotus.
Oh no.
Grotus takes the paper once again, adjusts his glasses, reads
Still
it.
still under the effects, by the way.
I know, reads it, and you read it, and you see him turn because he's green to a slight shade of purple.
Oh my god. Oh
Yeah, okay. So,
no.
if you were to take me out on a date,
Oh boy.
what would you do, and where would you bring me, sweet chicks?
Oh my god.
Yumi just looks away.
Sonobi just staring at him, and he was gonna open his mouth, but as soon as he said sweet cheeks, he just closes his mouth for a second and just inhales sharply. What a question. Wow. It's like it was made for me.
Really?
God damn it, the odds!
He just stares for a second and he just looks up at the ceiling trying to think. I don't know, someplace that's not in this tower. Stares hard at Wizard. Looks back at Grotus. Where there isn't life and death and other competition, and maybe go to a mountain, sweet sunlight, something like that. I don't know. Do you even like mountains? Do you like sun? Do you like nature in general?
Absolute, for your answer, we're not asking for how you take him specifically. This is just if you were to take someone.
Well, same thing. Nature, mountain, sun thing.
Oh my god.
I know.
Grotus first again. Nikki.
What an
Go.
answer. That's a 10.
Go ahead, go.
Goes. Nature and mountains, that's the thing. Love the great sunsets and the great open fields. Nothing better than the mountains. As far as this thing, how long do you think I'm lost?
And the wizard's just like, all right, next person.
10 points.
Sort of just gives him a little
Sim.
Oh my god. Yumi sort of like holds him and sort of passes him off to Morgana, I guess. 'Cause they're just gonna work together.
Ayla
Just hear
kinda-
this, Lucky.
As you pass Soda
Hey, wait,
over,
it's not her turn yet.
Yeah.
He has to get all 3 grades.
Oh, sorry.
All good.
Right.
I thought he was done.
So, Ayla's next to go, and she's just like, going out somewhere, in the woods, doesn't sound too bad. That sounds rather pleasant. You don't seem very interested in your answer, though, so, I might have
No,
to...
I'm just, just barely dying. It's fine.
He's
This is
like,
my face.
roll me persuasion.
Yumi just nods in the background like he is dying. Can he have advantage?
Do I have
A
advantage?
resting, not interested face.
Can I have advantage? I have 2 people backing me up.
No, straight persuasion. See
Yeah,
how you
okay.
tug at her heartstrings.
Your next track was supposed
Here
to be
we
a
go.
disadvantage anyways because of your because of
Damn.
Oh, that's true. It's supposed to be disadvantage, right?
Which one?
Your next
Oh.
is 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a
Oh
disadvantage.
shit.
So,
Oh boy. Okay. So wait, this is normal roll then, right now. Or my
Disadvantage.
wait.
it's a disadvantage roll.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. Here we go. It's an 8.
Yeah. Ayla just gives you a sympathetic little smile and just like, don't worry, I'll still give you, here. And she'll put a 7.
Thanks. I'm
And
fine.
then-
It's not like I'm dying or anything. You could just give me a 10, but that's okay.
I'm sorry, I do want to be fair. And the
That's
wizard
okay.
holds up a hand, is just like, no, that is a very fair grade for you. I don't know, I feel like you didn't put much passion behind your answer, Sonim. You felt rather lazy with it, and I'm not
Because
very
I'm
impressed.
dying.
Well, whose fault is that? Really, this entire time you haven't put much thought into your... Well, no, your earlier performance with the dancing and everything was rather nice, but poor in the end. But 2 rounds now, we haven't put much effort at all. So I'll have to say 5. Puts up another 5.
Great. Thanks. What is that up to? I don't have blood in my brain. Someone do math for me.
We'll find out at the end. Next!
Okay. Gets passed off to Morgana. Slumps on her.
as you do, you actually get zapped.
Oh shit. Oh, we didn't learn
you
the
guys
first
hear a
time.
thud again.
Swear to God!
I mean, you're just like, okay, no, I have it this time.
He's backed up, but you know what? He just
Logan's
gonna
about to
stand
lose
for.
I'm just,
Aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go ape shit?
Shit, yes. Absolutely.
oh my god.
Oh, who is next?
Yumi just like make sure he's okay, and then he just just takes the spot, like just waves. He gives a very short, awkward wave.
Roll a d4.
Okay.
One.
Hey.
Okay, Ayla this time. As you see him pull out a new card, read it over, hand it to Ayla, who takes it and adjusts her glasses, and she's just like, what do you think would make the world a better place?
Yumi just deadpans for a moment. I have to know some things about what the world is currently. Because they're in a tower. And is the outside just basically like your fantasy Faerun D&D general
Yes.
setting?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry for what I'm about to say. What I'm about to make Yumi say. Yumi just awkwardly shuffles like there's a lot of things that could probably make the world a better place. Considering you know how some people just get abducted into interdimensional towers against their will. Randomly. Also, maybe it would be nice if there was free healthcare. Because a lot of people seem to die of dysentery. And because they can't pay their local cleric the 10 gold.
God.
So
Priorities.
I'll go with even though my order personally tries to do its amount of charity work, I think it should all be charity work, perhaps through some single payer system.
I give that a 20.
Grotus first?
Grotus looks at Yumi and kind of rubs his chin. What's this weird thing about a tower? I don't know what you're talking about. That seemed a little weird, but the free healthcare idea. I mean, it seems not like a bad idea, but what about those who'll just, drain the system?
Oh my God, is Grotus a Republican?
Yumi's gonna open his mouth to respond, but then he's gonna close it I don't think this is a discussion point. I think he's just making a judgment. I shouldn't interrupt
This is
him.
getting too familiar.
I was just looking. He lives in the woods alone. He was self-reliant from his dad.
Pulled himself up by the bootstraps.
Yeah, he's pretty. He probably has that kind of viewpoint. He also he literally doesn't give a fuck about anybody but himself unless magically induced.
That sounds a lot like what we were just talking about.
Exactly. Right. So yeah, he'd probably be a Republican voter in our.
Oh boy.
I'd have to say.
So what's his vote?
It seems like it doesn't seem very viable to me, so I'm gonna just give you a 3.
That's fine. I don't expect everyone to understand that system.
Ayla kind of nods her head with this expression of yes, finally, yes. And she's just I agree. Everyone should have the opportunity to get the requirements that they need in terms of their health and I like Grotus. I'm not sure what you mean by a tower, but in regards to your second point, though, very much yes, absolutely. 10, immediately puts up a 10 for you. And you see the wizard kind of lean back in his chair, kind of just so that the front legs are holding upwards, and just starts kind of rocking back and forth. He's just oh, boring 5.
Yumi sort of nods I knew that answer wouldn't be very popular, but I think it's true. Your average peasant only makes a gold a year. So... he just quietly picks up Sonam, takes him to the back with him.
Actually, before they go, he stops him for a second, just raises his hand, looks at Ayla. A quick question before, I get dragged and maybe, pass out again. If you don't mind.
Of course.
So kind of new around here. Where are we?
A talent show?
Yes, where is the talent show being held?
In this room.
Anything outside this room?
The outside?
What's outside?
So Sonam,
Is it city?
she doesn't know.
You see this, like, kind of odd flicker come across her eyes, and then, again, just, like, this curious head tilt at you.
Could I do an
And
insight
the
to see
wizard
what
who's-
that might look like?
Go ahead.
Oh boy.
You're just like, this broad is dumb.
I think Yumi's already put it together, but I'll roll it anyway since he's right there.
Yeah, based off of kind of the smug little smirk that comes to the wizard's face as he's rocking, you very much get the sense she's under some kind of spell.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
Alright, so next. Morgana? Roll me D3. That is Ayla. Oh no, 3 is, yeah, that's also Ayla. She holds up this card and looks it over, and, like, a little furrow comes to her brow. She's just like, there's an orphanage on fire, and a family of 4 drowning. You can only save one. Who would you save and why? Oh, that's terrible.
God, this is the worst one for my god, I think.
Brain gears looking.
Would you
Do I
be
have
able
to?
to save them? Because wait, isn't it like they're drowning? Is that what you said?
Orphanage is on fire, and a family of 4
Oh.
are drowning.
Oh, okay. Wouldn't she just accidentally shock them all?
It goes into the water, just electrocutes the family.
Toaster bath simulator.
Toaster bath simulator, I'm gonna die. Oh no!
You said they're drowning?
Yes, a family of 4. Or an orphanage that's burning.
Or an orphanage that's burning. Okay. And who are in that family?
A family of 4, so,
And their father,
yes.
uncle, grandfather.
Yes, mother, father, daughter, son.
Do they have dog?
I saved dog.
Fucking losing it.
I don't see that in the question, no.
You did not answer a question. Where is dog?
Who's asking about the dog?
No, I'm fucking around.
Gotta go John Wick on this.
Oh, Morgana?
Do you have any details? Any other? That's it. That's everything. There's just a family of 4 dying.
You just hear Grotus go, for the love of God, answer the question!
Guess I'll save the daughter, I suppose.
You're only gonna save one of the family members?
You said I can only save one.
One or the
Maybe
other?
in between you can save the orphanage or you can save the family!
I also do
Have
like
anything
the
to
idea
do
of
with-
thinking you can only save one, going into the orphanage, grabbing one orphan as a target, and
Single orphan.
or wasn't that what was said? That you can only...
You can say one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other.
Oh no!
To the orphanage to grab a child. You're the
Oh no!
You have to
That's
choose
all my
one
secrets.
as well.
Oh
I
no!
thought it was like there was 4 people, and you could only save one of them, and I was so confused. I was like, what?
I like
What is this question? What,
I like the
which
idea
family
that
members'
it's just
lives you
like,
value?
it's the daughter.
Is the mother or the father better than the son or the daughter?
This is
You
some
also very much
fucking
like the idea of pulling the
shit
daughter
show.
out of the water, and then she going, "My papa," and you go, "He is weak."
He doesn't deserve it. Oh my god.
This is so fucking tragic.
I like the idea of Morgana being like, only the daughter's worth saving to me. Nobody else.
Okay, to the actual question, guys. Come on now.
Oh god.
We're gonna give Nikki a fucking asthma attack.
Don't die, Nikki.
Honestly.
Well,
Oh,
Storm.
right. I guess I'd save the orphanage because there's more lives, I suppose.
Looks to Grotus.
Well, it took you long enough to get to the answer, I'll admit. But I admit I'd have to go for the orphanage too. If only because any family is stupid enough to go swimming and go into a river and doesn't know how to swim probably deserves to drown in the first place.
Oh my
So-
god.
Woof.
But because you took so goddamn long to get to the answer, 4 points.
In the question properly.
Anna looks horrified by your comment, Grotus. And she's just like, I mean, it's unfortunate that you can only save one. I believe you should always put in, the effort to try to save both. But I guess it is true there's more people in the orphanage. Oh dear. I guess, here. And she gives you an 8. What? And the wizard still is just kind of like, oh, 5.
Maybe if you gave a better question. I'm sure you wrote these yourself.
Without even looking at you, you see him lift his leg and bang his ankle against the red button, roll me 3d8.
Oh, woof. All of us or just one?
Just Morgana.
Okay.
Even though it's like cut in half.
Oh my god. You...
This is what happens when you go up to the judge.
Whoa.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh no, did that hurt, darling?
Oh, too good.
Yeah, that's bad.
Oh yeah, because my curse activates now.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Okay, good. Great.
What did
Reminding myself your curse looks. Oh, right.
Oh no. I'm afraid.
What? Oh no.
Who do you turn to?
Oh no.
Who is
Roll a 1d4.
Loic would be the lowest,
Roll a
but-
1d4. Roll a 1d4.
Looks the closest.
Roll
Make it
one
sound
d.
like it's
Yeah, roll d4. If it's a 1, it's Loic. If it's any of the others, it's one of the
Grotus.
judges.
Oh no.
Make it 3. Yes!
So let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so you leap towards the wizard.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Yes!
Magic get ready.
The wizard dies here.
I don't think
She goes to strangle him, and her hands are just electrified, and she's going to. I'm going to kill you!
You guys,
Yumi
So
does
you
the
see-
mom thing and
Huh?
holds Sonam closer to his body, like, oh no.
Sonam is trying to wriggle away so he can also join.
Morgana, you leap across the table at the wizard and phase through his body, and the wizard still is just kind of leaning there. And as you turn to start thrashing and going for his throat, it's just each of your attacks at him are just swishing through his form. Clearly, he's not physically there, but you are just too blinded by rage to care.
Cronus just looks at seeing this. Well, Mr. Wizard, you are a master of the evasionary arts.
Yes, I know, I'm amazing. Keep praising me, please. As you guys are just here, Morgana, like, oh, fucking
Oh my god.
Sonam in the back, just let me at him too.
No.
He's too far away to see that it was an illusion.
Yumi just keeps holding him, like, no. No,
Squirm,
no,
squirm,
no.
squirm. Angry toddler on the freaking baby holder.
You have 10 health, you're not going anywhere.
So, immediately shooting down from the sky, these ropes that had latched onto Grotus earlier, then Ayla, now is latching onto you, Morgana, wrapping around your form and sort of like holding you up about 5 feet above the air over the catwalk, and you're kind of like thrashing and flailing right now, hanging there.
Is she okay?
Twinning.
Oh, it's fine.
Cast spells at him.
If they don't take your hands, yes.
Kill.
Oh wow, I actually have a gift for this. Here you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's
I'm
Oh,
going
that's
to,
right.
so Misty Step is a verbal component, so she's going to Misty Step on top of him and try and slash at him again with a shocking grasp.
What a fucking psychopath. I love her.
You see the wizards just kind of look at this and you're just like, you know what, if it entertains her, sure. Next! Every so often, like, his face kind of loses its focus, and then his chest loses its focus as she keeps, like, blurring this image.
She just calling out, I've got him, he's dying, he's dying!
I feel like Yumi like tries to catch Loic's eye and then looks over at Morgana like, should we do something?
He just opens up his mouth and then just shakes his head.
Yumi just gives like a defeated nod, like, I guess this is what we're doing now.
Eventually, Sonam sees that it's just an illusion, and he is totally deflated, super disappointed, and grumbling. And like his legs are probably like dangling because Yumi is so tall, just crossed arms, hunched over.
Loic, roll me a d2.
A D what?
D2.
Okay.
Remaining questions.
Yep.
2.
That's Ayla.
Yeah, that's Ayla.
Oh, I'm doing the questions. Okay.
Damn, I wish, you know, that'll just be, okay, I know what I'll do with that. So, the card is handed over to Ayla. She kind of reads it over, kind of occasionally glancing over towards this thrashing that's happening next to her, but,
Yelling over the questions.
yeah. The wizard just kind of gives her like a just continue kind of gesture of his hand, and she's like, okay, if you could have any one pet, what would it be and why?
Loic just kind of places a hand on his chin, very pointedly, not looking at Grotus after what had happened earlier. That is actually a good question. Wait a second.
Oh my god.
Grotus thinking the same thing.
The real answer is a rabbit, because they breed so fast, you'd have tons of snacks.
Oh boy.
You'll be uncomfortably.
Loic, he kind of just... actually, As a kid, I grew up around a lot of animals. If I had to say so, though, does this animal exactly have to be domesticated?
I don't believe so. No.
All right. Then if that's the case, then. Oh, right. You know that one fox that kind of goes white during the winter and like reddish during the summer?
Looks kind of questioning.
I think it's
That's a snow fox, ain't it?
yeah. You know, I've always thought that they were cute. I mean, they would kind of kill the chickens that we had, which was never quite fun. But overall, though, they're pretty cute.
TG is cuter. Cough, cough.
You hear a little squeak of approval.
He just shakes his head.
Looks to Grotus.
Well, I have to admit, I kind of like your choice. Unique, different, and the fact that it changes colours during the year means you get a bit of variety in your pet. I do appreciate that sort of thinking. So, 7 points!
Nice.
Fist bump.
Yeah, it does sound like a rather cute animal. So here, she writes a 10 for you.
Nice. Getting back in the run-ins.
I get a question about murder, and he gets a question about.
Listen, Gary got a question about what would make the world better, and he said universal healthcare.
The wizard again just looks very bored with the answer and writes a 5. He's just like, really, dude, none of you have interesting answers.
Head on a pike.
As his head keeps like changing its shape with each time she scratches through it.
I'm actually curious, what would be an interesting answer to you?
Well, that's the thing. You have to give me something fun, really. All of these are so boring for answers.
That's right! What's wrong with all of you? You should be more interesting and impress our great leader!
Yes, I believe it is important to make sure he's having a good time, as he is the one running things.
Look, just kind of
dying!
Wait, who? Oh my god.
I'm sure is having a whole time.
Loic just kind of shrugs and somewhat under his breath, but the judges could probably hear is, my second answer would have been a cuttlefish, but I mean, I didn't think anybody would know what that is. Whatever. And he just kind of takes a bow and will start walking back.
You see the wizard just holding one last question now, and he's like looking over each of you. He's just like, alright, does anyone want to take the last question? And I will say, if you give a boring answer, I will remove points. And if you give an interesting one, you'll get the points that we give you.
Where's Loic in the running right now?
I mean, we can't give you exact things, but if you can remember your totals.
Let's
His hand is in the
see.
fucking air.
It was 22. It was like
I don't remember.
how many zeros? I think all zeros.
Yeah.
Actually, no. The wizard gave him a 7, so that's 29. And everybody else, generally speaking, went higher. I will have Loic raise his hand too.
What's
Worm-
happening?
This is like a make or break it, where if you answer an interesting, you'll get to keep the points that are given. If it's an uninteresting one, you will lose the points that are given.
Are you volunteer to answer?
Yeah, you pick. You get to pick. It's basically a daily double from Jeopardy.
Yes.
Yumi looks at Sonam. Sonam raising his hand or nah?
No, he's
Okay.
still crossed arms, his legs just casually dangling. This is
Okay.
fine. He's comfy here.
It's fine. Morgana's still losing her mind. I guess Yumi as the only other third coherent person is just gonna raise his hand, kind of.
Alright, so that's Yumi, Worm, and Loic. How to do this?
All 1d3.
I think the fair thing is just give the question to Worm.
I mean, very fair. Mickey, in this scenario, you would give the question, each one gives answers, and then we would determine whether or not they're interesting, possibly.
This is true.
You could do whoever's got the best answer gets the point. Whoever's got the worst answer loses the points. And then
That is true. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll do that. So, all three of you step forward as the last question's handed over to Grotus.
we're making it very clear he's taller than the others right now.
Yumi hunches over more.
Grotus once again adjusts his glasses and he reads the paper. He goes, this is a brilliant question given to us by the great wizard. Oh, I love it! Name one thing you like the most about each of us, and why?
That you're fucking dying!
Oh my god.
I agree.
Worm can go first. Dylan?
Fuck, I was muted. Worm does like that Master Grotus does appear to be very strong. And that Ayla seems very friendly. Worm has never known kind heart. But
Aw.
most importantly,
Aw.
Worm believes that Master Wizard is very cunning.
You see him stroke his beard.
Wait a second. Worms figured out that the wig is indeed not him, or did he remove it?
The one at
later?
the table is the regular wizard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dylan drag at the table.
So, look to Grotus first.
Well, I have to admit, I enjoy a man who knows how to see a good specimen of a man when he sees one. 7 points!
This is the part where me being a kiss ass starts to come in.
Ayla gives a small little smile as she's just like, "Oh, that's very nice of you. I'm happy you see me that way. Here," and she'll write a 10. And the wizard, again, kind of rocking on his chair, he's just like, "Tell me more."
Well,
Worm could sit all day and tell Master Wizard all of his great features, such as his very manicured facial hair and Master's very
Yes.
stunning. What's
you're doing amazing.
me personally am blanking on the word for clothes. Thank you, clothes.
In character.
Thanks, me. You're welcome, me.
Worm one day hopes to have prowess and charisma of great Master Wizard.
You know, good. Alright. I'll keep my score at a 5, but interesting enough, so you'll keep the points. So if you can add that, Heath.
I have.
What
Alright.
were those point totals?
What did Grotus give?
7, 10, and 5.
Yes.
Cool.
Alright, next. Loic, right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, sure.
Okay. Let me think. Well, no, I won't think. I'll just get back into cake. Well, if You said one thing about the three of you, right?
Yes, and why?
Okay. Well, I would say that number one, for you, Grodus, was it?
Aye.
Okay. Well, I couldn't help but notice that you seem to have a decent, actually more than decent, knowledge on animals, and I really like that, given that I was someone that I, grew up on a farm. I know animals like the back of my hand, and to see somebody else inside of this very odd establishment, and I'm putting that very lightly here, who seems to have that same type of background, it makes me comfortable. It makes me feel more at home, so to speak. Which I won't even point out the irony in that. Aside from that, Ella, I couldn't help but notice. Is that a religious pendant you have?
Oh, yes, of my god.
Ah, right. You see, Nikki, because I already know it's Zeros, right? And I want to cheat, but is Zeros a god that I would know inside of my world?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Is this, I would say that, I'm a man of faith myself. That definitely is something that is rather comforting to know as well. Honestly, of course, to kind of piggyback off of what Worm said, you are a very kind heart, that I can see. But to know that it comes from something greater than, say, just, normal altruism, it's nice. It really is.
Oh, thank you.
He nods. And for you, wizard, he kind of like lets a pause of silence going forth. I only pause at saying that because I'm going to be completely honest. You said interesting. For me, I say honesty. I'm typically used to, all-powerful, otherworldly beings being that of monstrous proportions, tentacles, claws, amorphous beings, but you actually happen to be, from what I see, an attractive man. Which is definitely something I'm not used to say the least.
Dead man.
Boy.
Don't mind her.
Yeah, Loic almost flinches at an insult of such just forked tongue just being flicked in the back. Yeah, no, at this point I would be probably nitpicking, and I don't think that's super interesting, but we both have a concealed eye because of, I know my reason, but I don't know yours. But other than that, yeah, I didn't know that all-powerful beings were capable of looking human. At all, even.
Breaking expectations, that's one of my many specialties.
Yeah, I would say so. And he just has a mini flashback of blood bursting out of the donuts that his mother used to make.
Boy.
Loic went up there and said, I didn't know dictators could be so hot.
I sure did.
Out of all the abdominal horrors I've met in my life, you're the best looking.
Hey, what can I say? He comes from an evil world where kings and queens are worshipped, even though peasants are dying. He's used to this.
That's why universal health care is a must.
I'll say... Because Worm had proven early on that he literally is just a kiss ass. For you, though, I'll have you roll either persuasion or deception, depending on what you're doing.
screaming, running towards Persuasion.
Vern is not a kiss ass, he's just a good servant.
Kind of the same thing, honestly.
Mhm. Okay. I'm just, fuck it. Let's wow.
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 Nice.
Wow.
That was meant to be.
This whole game is fucking rigged. It's bullshit.
What can I say? I'm just the dark horse of the competition, apparently.
You see the wizard kind of grin from ear to ear as he just kind of nods in approval, and he's like, all right. I mean, I appreciate it quite a bit. And he gives like a little waggle of his brows at you. No, my dear Grodus, if you'd like to give your score.
You see Grodus, he just wipes a tear from his eye. I have to admit, you make me remember someone I used to know who's really dear to me. He also was on a farm, appreciated my husbandry of the animals. I gotta give you a ton!
Me, Judah, in the background, grip
Screaming.
chest.
Me next to you, also gripping chest.
Also looks ginger, so like he seeing what the fuck the wizard's throwing at him, it's impossible to hide a blush. It really is. He's like, it's like a confused blush rather than absolutely flustered, but it's there.
Sonam, like in the back, is just somewhat relieved for the fact that, oh god, okay, finally, he's not gonna flirt with me anymore. Do it to someone else. I'm free.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
Emma also has just this happy little smile on her face as she's just like, that was very nice of you. I think one of the nicest things I said, and you've said, and it's always nice to meet another person of faith. So, here, and she'll write a 10 for you.
Yes! Yes!
Victory speech.
The wizard, which, because you got a nat 20, will not give his usual average, as he's just like, you've really definitely caught my interest in many ways. I'll give you a 10 as well.
Wow.
Oh.
Yumi
Oh,
claps
wow.
in the background for Loic, like, very happy for him. To just
I don't know what
That was
Loic did to
hard.
deserve Yumi being a supporter of Loic, but honestly, I greatly appreciate it.
it's like a really soft and awkward clap because nobody else is clapping, but he's still trying.
That's exactly what makes it matter. I thank you.
What?
Now Yumi has the whole. Now it's Worm and Morgana that are just murdering.
No.
Wait a second. Nikki, wasn't it a thing that the most interesting answer got like a bonus or something, or was it only at the detriment of losing 10 points? I'm just
It just
wondering.
means that you won't have the points deducted.
Got it. Awesome.
You keep your points, yeah.
Because that would have been really bad if you got 2 10s and the wizard was like, meh.
Your score just plummets to the frickin'
Exactly.
Oh boy.
So, Yumi.
Yeah. Yumi like scratches the back of his head, pulls his hood down to be proper, and is like, that's quite something to follow up. Am I supposed to go now?
Yes.
Okay.
Loic gave you a shoulder tap as he passed.
Yumi's like, in his head, he's like, well, Worm didn't lose any points. Loic got a perfect score across the board. I guess that means I lose all my points no matter what I do at this very moment.
No!
Yumi, no.
But he's just like, well, I gave it a good shot. He's going to clasp his hands together and be like, Grodus, right?
Aye?
Yes. You seem like a very self-sufficient and confident person. And I mean, it sounds like you're independent. You don't have to rely on anyone. In my life, I have to rely on everyone. So I really admire that about you. Because independence is something I don't have. And he turns to Ayla and
Ayla's lip is wobbling a little at your answer.
oh, it's not a bad. It's okay. You seem like a truly nice person. I know other people have said it, but you seem composed and in your responses, and that's not something we see very often, if at all. I mean, I think everybody has already said and sung your praises, so I don't know if there's much more for me to add on to it.
I agree. Yeah, enough about her. What about me?
Oh,
God.
He sort of like gives a sympathetic nod to Ayla because he knows he didn't deliver. It's okay. He turns to the wizard and he says, I mean, if I'm being honest, there's a lot of things to admire about you because you control this entire place. And he just gestures everywhere. You have everyone sort of in the palm of your hand. You can do whatever you want. You have the confidence and charisma to pull off all of it. I mean, some kings aren't very charismatic and they can't really pull off much of anything, and everybody sort of secretly hates them but will praise them regardless. But I mean, I have to say I kind of like you, even though you've put me here. Because I don't know, you're very admirable. I wish I had at least an ounce of the strength you seem to have.
Hmm.
I have to say power.
You mean... Well, actually, just straight up tell me, is this persuasion or deception?
Oh, I guess it's persuasion because Yumi's not trying to lie at this point.
Okay. Roll with advantage.
Okay.
I'm watching you, rabbit boy.
He doesn't have very good persuasion.
Oh,
So it's okay. I mean, can I add my guidance?
Your guidance?
My guidance.
Gadens.
You have to make sure you have to make sure you say guidance beforehand.
Oh, I casted guidance a while ago, but it's probably
Yeah, it only lasts
not
for a
out by
minute.
now.
Yeah, it only has a minute.
My bad.
I gave advantage because you said something very specific, but with that roll, roll me an insight.
Okay. Watch me roll a 1. Nice. Oh, sorry, that was
Nice.
at advantage, but I guess 17.
Okay, I'll say you notice something kind of waver in the wizard's kind of I don't care, like this is all very amusing, clearly in curious attention as to what you're gonna say about him and give him all his praises. However, there's something that you said that has his kind of smile that's on his face sort of fall for just a brief second before it's back on his face again. You struck something. You don't know what, but something that kind of knocked him off guard a bit. But eventually, again, he kind of puts back up his cheerful appearance as he's just like, well, I am quite powerful. I'm glad you can recognize that. But, I don't know. Kind of went on and on with it.
Oh, it's okay.
Not uninteresting, but it's not interesting. So, I'm just going to leave these points null. Nothing gained, nothing lost.
Yumi just gives the slight nod. Like, that seems fair.
What was that, Storm?
You lost your fucking face.
As you see the wizard just kind of sigh and go like, alright, that's enough out of you, and he pats his palm against your forehead, and that anger that you felt rushing through your system suddenly dissipates away, Morgana.
He pressed the fucking reset button.
Kind of blinks a few times. What the hell just happened?
You tried to kill the wizard for a long time, and you screamed at him the entire time.
It was great.
Standing on the table, just like. How'd I get here? I'll make it off.
You know, and Yumi just holds his hand out to Morgana and is just like, we're just gonna go back. We're just gonna go back.
It's okay, sweetie. Don't worry
You
about
see
it.
you see the wizard then give a little clap of his hands, and suddenly the audience around you just completely disappears, as well as the two judges sitting beside him are suddenly out of sight, and the wizard is now sitting there alone, looking charming as ever with his shit-eating smile, as he looks at each of you, and he's just like, well, now to decide who the winner is and gets the wonderful prize, as well as the second place winner. So, looking over the points, let's see.
I tallied them for you, Nikki.
You did?
It's worm.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so the wizard kind of, you see this faceless, clothless, literally just the shadowy form kind of walk out of nowhere and hand the wizard a piece of paper before standing inside him, with hands folded behind its shadowy back. The wizard kind of clears his throat and then opens it, and you see this beam of a spotlight come down on him, and he's just like, now to announce the winners. In last place, with 53 points, Morgana! Oh, so sad, really. That's
How did I get last place? What happened in the last round?
Easy questions.
53 points! That's a shame, Morgana. You did pretty well on your first round and then plummeted the second, and the last not as great as well. Really, shame. You must feel so bad about yourself. I'm quite sorry. No, I'm not. Next!
I don't really care.
In fourth place is Sonam. Congratulations! You didn't get last like I thought you would, with 55 points.
Wow. I'm so grateful. I'd like to thank my family and my siblings that I don't have, and to all those who have supported me. I am in not last place. And he does a grin that's very forced with his fangs out. Just
You see, climbing up from the side of the catwalk is this red-skinned tiefling that looks like you but older, and you get the sense that it was meant to be a poor imitation of your assumed dad, but it's absolutely not your dad. Kind of comes over and pats your shoulder as he's just like, I'm so proud of you, son.
No.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Locke,
thanks.
Locke just like looks at this and is like, is this racist?
So I'm just standing there, just like, this is my life.
I think Yumi's gonna attempt to push it away. Like, just really gently like, push it away.
He's like, come on, go, scram.
Push it away.
The man who walks off and disappears into the darkness. Wizard continues. Now, taking third place would be Yumi with 67 points. Good job, good job. Claps his hands.
Loic claps too.
Worm claps.
It's okay.
Very glad to eat the rabbit.
It's okay.
Who cheated in the first round?
Didn't cheat, but okay, thank you. Just gives a short, awkward wave, and then just sort of like looks away.
And now, second place with 81 points is Loic. Good job, second place, not bad. Very, very good. And of course, you know what that means for first place, Worm. You win with 87 points total. You put up quite the impressive show.
If it weren't for those goddamn donuts.
True.
Everybody would turn their attention to the dancing lizard in the chat. That's
Yes! Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and update my character sheet to 19 championships won.
As you see this, the wizard in drag kind of steps up onto stage holding his bag of coins and hands it to you. And peeking in, you see 10 of those odd-looking wizard coins that you've been spotting around the place. As you've won 10 wizard coins you can add to your inventory. Then walking over to Loic, places a smaller bag of 5 coins. And then, surprisingly enough, you see him then stride up to you, Morgana, and kind of gives like a small of his tongue before tapping 2 fingers to the center of your forehead and goes like, and unfortunately the prize for the last place. And I need you to...
Dude, what if he just fucking executed her?
Dragon Ball style hostile.
Roll me a D23.
Oh no.
20. Oh,
Double curse.
Yep.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh.
7.
Oh, that's fantastic. I thought we figured that one out already.
Okay, yeah, I will send that to you. Let's see, where are you? There you are.
Excuse me.
There you go.
oh God, what is
I hope you like that one. I came up with that one.
Wait, like an additional curse or some shit?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh
He's
my
double cursed.
god.
As a show that you guys don't want to get last place in these types of things.
Yeah!
You are so lucky for your points, Loic, because you were easily dead last.
Oh, yeah!
How
So one of you got 5 gold,
did I get last place?
5 wizard coins, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
got
yeah.
You got last place literally just because the Loic got the 30-point boost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was that 11 that killed you.
Yeah.
11.
Also, yeah, you got the 11 on the performance on the talent show because you remember you
Yeah,
rolled a
because I
2,
rolled
a
a
3,
2,
and then a
that's
1,
the
and then the 1 point. That's what killed you.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I apologize for my own seamlessness.
And to be fair, the only reason Zaku didn't get last place is because they seduced Grotus.
Yeah.
I use my blessing to my advantage.
Really did.
Your blessing is raw sex appeal.
No, that's literally what it is.
Oh
I
boy.
hate it.
Technically, it's called Banging Babe, but yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Look, I don't want to brag, but that barbarian just won a fucking talent show. Like from a role playing standpoint, that's pretty fucking good. Seeing as how I've got no charisma or extracurricular skills.
True, true.
But
You
to be
did
fair,
really good.
You did luckily
You did
pick gladiator
amazing.
background, so you actually had a bit of an edge.
I'm genuinely surprised that actually came up. I didn't think it would ever. I didn't even put it on my sheet because I didn't think it would come up.
Nice.
So, let me ask you guys, with it being that point of the night, would you like to continue a little bit longer for the chance for some RP, as the next floor will allow that? Or would we like to call it here and start with the RP next time?
I would personally like to wait till later. A, because I'm on food, and B, I need to fucking fix my sleep schedule.
Okay, there we go. I was like, slit. I'm like, well, you're not gonna
Slit
like
your
what?
I sometimes reverse words. I was gonna say sleep my fix schedule. That wasn't
I'm so
gonna be
happy.
very
And that
good.
is because
Okay.
how drunk I am. Yeah, I have a
Yes.
really early
I have
appointment
no-
tomorrow.
Yeah. Oof, yeah.
Okay, next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Pick it up next
Plus, it'll give
episode.
me more
Stop
time to
the
actually nail down
recording.
my character's fucking accent. God, it's
I
every.
do the same thing. I think I'm only doing the Russian accent like half the fucking time.